outside seemed kind of electric this afternoon. Even though it was a little windy and a little cool and some rain threatening, there were a lot of folks out there, and I get the feeling there's a pretty high expectation of this team today and this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting matchup for people to come watch. Obviously, Montana was exciting, but this one, knowing that this is a must-win for Idaho State, just coming out and showing their support and having some fun in pregame.
Well, it's going to be a fun afternoon, and they had a little issue getting the team out here. I think they were trying to bring the Bengals out, and I don't know if they were just late coming out of the locker room or not, but we're still waiting for the Bengals to come out of the tunnel amidst the smoke and the sound and the crowd. But either way, look, you just can't beat Big Sky Conference football, and to celebrate homecoming a little bit later than usual this year. But I have a really good feeling about this matchup this afternoon with Northern Arizona. So one thing we can mention is that last night the Idaho State men's basketball team played their first exhibition game against Northwest University, won that 98-54, looked pretty good doing it, too, as a matter of fact. And the Bengals will be back in action on November the 4th against Park University out of Gilbert, Arizona. We'll have that game for you here on KISU a little bit that afternoon or that evening. That's actually a later start time. It's a doubleheader game with the women playing earlier there, too. So, as we said, it's a big day here for Idaho State football. Next week, if we look ahead just a little bit, while we're obviously we're stretching here is what we're calling it. Things are a little behind schedule. So next week at UC Davis, that'll be a 2 o'clock Mountain Time kickoff. Cody and I will be coming to you from UC Davis Health Stadium. And I'm very curious to see Tim Plow's team, because the last time we saw him was 2 years ago here when Dan Hawkins was the head coach and Cody was, in his first year at Idaho State. So, but UC Davis playing some good football right now.
Yeah, they are, and watched a little bit of them versus Northern Arizona last week in a very good ball game, but just never fails to impress me how sound UC Davis is, and that's really because when Dan Hawkins came in and took over and had Jake Mayer as the quarterback and what they did then in Hawkins' whole tenure there and then passing it on to Plow, and they just seem to reload. They're just able to recruit so well, even with the academic restrictions, but that UC Davis team is tough, and I'm excited to see what Idaho State can do down there.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here for our ICCU pregame show. When we come back, we're going to be ready to kick it off. It's homecoming 2025. It's your Bengals of Idaho State against the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona. Stick around. We'll be back with a kickoff after this time out on KISU FM. Okay, Lindbergh, I don't know how long we're going to have to run here, so just figure on 3 minutes, but I'll keep you posted. They're going to give me a countdown in my other ear to join ESPN, okay? Hey, Dave, where are we at on time? I need to know how long before we join up with ESPN. I'm in my last break on radio. Dave, have you got me down there? Okay, I need to know exactly. I need a countdown. Okay. Lindbergh, we're about 2 minutes out. Okay, perfect. Just let me know. NAU's going to receive, or ISU's going to receive. 90 seconds. 90 seconds, Lindbergh. Lindbergh, I think I'd just go ahead and run a music bed. If it runs for about a minute, I would go ahead. That's fine. Just keep it running. We're okay. Go ahead and hit the rejoin. Go ahead and bump it back to us. I don't know how soon we'll be going. It's going to be another 30, 40 seconds. We're back at the ICCU Dome, and we are underway as Northern Arizona will kick it. ISU will take that opening kickoff for the touchback. We're underway. Scott Gross along with Cody Graves back here at the ICCU Dome. And here we go. The Bengals will come out in the orange helmets and jerseys with the white pants, white numerals trimmed in black. Northern Arizona with the blue, white, blue combination today. And so it will be Idaho State 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And it will be Jordan Cook here on the near hash mark. He's got Dason Brooks off his right hip. A little pressure showing from the corner there. The snap, Dason Brooks takes it, steps upfield. Dason Brooks into the second level. Exactly what Idaho State needed. We talked about keys to the game. Cody Graves, and a good start for the Bengals.
Yeah, and Dason Brooks looks a little healthier on that ankle right there on that play, just showing a little more explosiveness than we've seen from him the last few weeks.
So that will be a gain of 14 yards, and the first Mountain America Credit Union first down of the afternoon. Idaho State 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line, moving left to right. This time they'll bring Jonah Burton and join one of the three receivers over here on the near side in a crossing pattern. They get Jonah Burton, the transfer out of Baylor, and that's going to be good for 11. And another Bengal first down.
And Idaho State's going to have some opportunities like that. Northern Arizona, first two plays so far, rolling late into a 40 front and going single high coverage and then roll man there a little late and just finds his man Jonah Burton in the slot.
Jalen Wesley with the stop. Bengals send one wide receiver left, three to the right, ball far hash. Handoff, Dason Brooks. Goes inside, now pops it to the outside. He's going to get positive yardage here. Close to 5 yards for Dason Brooks. And Cody, at least early on, it looks like he's able to really put his foot in the ground and go.
Yeah, and we've seen Dason Brooks sometimes a little too patient in the backfield.
Yep.
Sometimes it works in his benefit because he lets the holes create themselves, and then once he gets vertical, he goes. But right now, he's just patient enough, but just explosive enough as well.
Bengals on a 2nd down and 5, and they go with a bubble screen out to the far side. They get it to Jonah Burton. Needed 5 for the first down. Picked up just 2 down to the 42-yard line of the Lumberjacks. And then on the stop, Brandon Wong, their middle linebacker. 24 tackles on the season coming in. This time it's going to be Jordan Cook with a keeper, and he's tripped up in the backfield. And the man that got him there was number 44. I thought I saw that is Fo Ho Ching, the defensive tackle. And so that'll bring up 4th down and about 3, and the Bengals will have to punt it away here as they're back at the Northern Arizona 45-yard line.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication between Dason Brooks and Jordan Cook. Jordan Cook looked like he wanted to hand the ball there to Dason Brooks, but Dason wasn't at the mesh point for Cook to hand him the ball, and Cook wanted no part of having that ball in his hands, even though maybe if he breaks one tackle, he would have had a shot to get the first down.
Back deep to receive this punt. And can the Bengals kill it? They can at the 1-yard line. They downed it inside the 1, and who was that got down there and saved it? Trying to see. It would look like it might be Juice Mason who got down there and downed that football.
It was a great job by the coverage team. It looked like Ball and Mason were both there maybe looked like ball had went into the end zone, and good awareness for him not to come back from the end zone and touch it. And Julian Mason able to get it on the one, pass it back to his buddy. And, yeah, great job. Idaho State special teams continue to impress.
So here's Ty Pennington, the second-year quarterback for the Lumberjacks. He'll take this snap almost 5 yards deep in his own end zone down here to the right. And there is a running play, and that should be Seth Cromwell. He is their lead running back. 344 yards on the season, and he's going to pick up a cool 5 yards there and give that Lumberjack offense a little room to work. So 2nd down and 5. Pennington out of the gun. Once again, Cromwell back there with him. Taking his time as the play clock, plenty of time, down to 13 seconds. Cromwell again, and the Bengals will stop him at about the 9-yard line. And they will stop him maybe closer to the 8. So Cromwell just a couple of yards there, and it's going to be 3rd down, and let's call it just about 2 to go here.
We mentioned Ty Pennington, and these are the situations where you love to have an experienced quarterback like Pennington. Makes these 3rd and short a little more manageable, where he can see what the defense is giving him, put the ball in his hands, and have multiple options out of these situations.
Bo Jakes made the stop on that last play. Katzis came in motion. The pass comes to him, and he is blown up. The ball came free, and a huge hit put on by the Bengals. Was that Nija?
That is Jackson Daniels, the one we talked about
Jackson
pregame.
Daniels, okay. I thought it might be Jackson, but I thought I caught a glimpse of a 2 as he spun around. So the sophomore out of Helix High School in San Diego makes an impact on the first defensive series of the day. Makes us look pretty good for players to watch, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that he drove on that flat route was very impressive, stuff you don't see from corners nowadays, but he put a lick on that receiver, and just a huge play with NAU backed up into their end zone.
Ben DeQuilla, the punter, leads the Big Sky at about 47 yards per punt, but he has a net of only about 37. And here is why. Here is Ian Duarte. Can he get the corner? He can. He's in midfield, stays on his feet, and he'll get back to where the Bengals wrapped up their last possession at the plus 45 in Northern Arizona territory. Timeout on the field here. Both teams have had the ball. The Bengals defense has really answered it, and special teams is going to give them great position. We're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Idaho State Bengals are back on offense for the second time this afternoon. And so it will be Idaho State 1st and 10 here. 1st and 10 for the Bengals at the NAU 45-yard line. This time it's going to be Carson Sudbury, and Sudbury tries the left side of the line and gets tripped up after a gain of just a couple. And in on that stop, Brandon Wong and Jihad Fort, cornerback, came up. 2nd down and 8 for the Bengals. Have the ball at the 43 of Northern Arizona. It's a shovel pass inside, and that's going to be good for a 1st down, and I believe that's Carson Sudbury, and it is. A shovel pass to Carson Sudbury. That'll be a Mountain America Credit Union 1st down as we see the replay. Well-designed play. Mountain America Credit Union helping guide members through life's financial journey and donating $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for every Bengal 1st down this year. So now at the 34-yard line of the Lumberjacks, Idaho State brings Jonah Burton in motion, and he's going to set up in the backfield, something new here that we haven't seen. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Burton's going to take it. Jonah Burton gets outside. He'll fall forward, going to pick up 4 yards or maybe 5 down near the 29-yard line. That's a new look.
Yeah, I like this wrinkle because Jonah Burton is one of those slot receivers. He's been hurt a little bit this year, but thicker like a running back, and you see the explosiveness and speed that he has.
Quick pass near side, complete to Duarte. Duarte breaking tackles inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Another Mountain America Credit Union first down. I love this tempo that this Bengal offense is running.
And they need to stick with this tempo right now in the red zone, where we've seen Idaho State struggle with how prolific their pass offense has been this year. Not really efficient and not so efficient in the red zone.
Jalen Wesley made the stop there on Duarte. First and goal, Bengals at the Lumberjack 10. Sudbury comes into the backfield, goes to the right, now to the left side of Jordan Cook, working out of the shotgun. Pair of receivers to either side. They're going to give it to Sudbury, and Carson Sudbury gets it down to the 5-yard line. It'll be second and goal from there. 7:45 clock moves first quarter, no score as of yet. But the Bengals, the first team to really threaten. And they moved the ball pretty well on their first possession, just kind of got stopped on a third and medium.
Yeah, just a miscommunication and, just in the run game. But right now you got Dason Brooks back in the game, and we've seen just hand the ball to 28, because when he's on, and he's tough to tackle in these situations.
Bengals got a tight pack over there on the left side of the line, but it's going to be Dason Brooks to the right. He's in. Touchdown, Idaho State. Bengals with an ICCU touchdown, and for Dason Brooks, that is his 6th rushing touchdown of the year.
And he looks a little different this week, doesn't he?
He absolutely does. He looks like he's got more explosiveness.
Just a little more pep in his step.
Yeah.
Right here, just a little half hurdle there, get the guy off his legs. That's where they like to hit him at, because he's very low center of gravity, and good understanding there, and gets to the outside.
Extra point try, up and good by Trajan Sinatra. And the Bengals, with 7:15 to go here in the first quarter, lead it 7-0. Back with a drive recap and the Bengal kickoff after this timeout on KISU FM and ESPN+. Here at Idaho State University and the bonfire Wednesday night. Cody, that's a bonfire now, isn't it?
That is bigger than any fire that we had when I was here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it has been an exciting week around campus. And it seems like everything now that's happening at Idaho State, there is a buzz around this institution, this athletics program. And great turnout for the bonfire on Wednesday. And what a great second possession by the Bengals. 6th place, 45 yards, 2 minutes, 48 seconds. Rushing touchdown of about 5 yards for Dason Brooks. And the kick will go through the end zone. And the touchback, another one by Mason Lindbergh. His 2 touchbacks today bring him to 31 on the year. In case you're wondering, Colby Katzis handles those kick return duties, and that's not a guy. He's kind of like Wortham at Montana. You don't want him to get the ball, right?
Yeah, he's dangerous. He hasn't returned one yet this year, but just watching a little bit of them against Montana State and UC Davis, there were a couple that he was just one arm tackle away from breaking it and took it to about midfield.
7-0 Bengal lead, 7:15 to go first quarter. This time they're going to give it to Katzis on the jet sweep, and Katzis has a seam up the far sideline, cuts back in, and a huge gain down to the Bengal 43-yard line. That's going to be a run of 32 yards, and the first down of the afternoon for the Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks.
And right on cue, you can see why he's a dangerous return man. They just give him the ball on a little flip jet sweep and out in space and really hard to tackle.
So from the Bengal 43, Lumberjacks trying to answer back quickly. Pair of receivers to the near side. Cromwell in the backfield. He'll take the handoff right up the middle, and initial contact made by, trying to see if that is, it was Nate Reynolds. Got to keep an eye out for the birthday boy out there today, Jaden Bell. Bengal linebacker, turns 24 today. Here is Cromwell, and he is hit, breaks one tackle, breaks another, falls forward for a yard, and he's going to be close to the first down, but going to be just about a yard shy. And again, looks like maybe Nate Reynolds in on that stop.
A lot of broken tackles there by Cromwell. You could see how strong he is and tough to bring down. He's not been quite as productive this year as he was last year. The run game for NAU a little bit better last year, averaged around 184 yards, and this year around the 140 mark, same as Idaho State, but right now NAU doing a good job in the run game and getting some push up front.
3rd down, a yard to go. Pistol formation. They give it to Cromwell. No, it's going to be Pennington with the keep, and he breaks it to the near sideline, and it'll be pushed out of bounds inside the 20, down at about the 17-yard line. And that's the danger of Ty Pennington.
Yeah, and the danger of really any quarterback that can run and be a running threat is just numbers and not accounting for it for Idaho State defensively and why they've struggled with running quarterbacks this year.
Looked like maybe it was Rylan Leathers who got over there to push him out of bounds. When you talk about Cromwell, he's 5'10", 215, and Dason Brooks 5'11", 225. Very similar builds, and they line up in that same formation. They bring man in motion back towards the formation. Now it's going to be Ty Pennington to throw. Pass is going to be complete as they try to set up the screen over here to the near side. That looks like 82 Hayden Doherty, the tight end. And it was Doherty with the reception. Jackson Daniels and Rylan Leathers combined for that stop. And it's going to be 2nd down here and just about 2 to go. And now we've got whistles. And do we have a timeout? It would appear that we do.
Looks like Brian Wright took a timeout.
Maybe saw something he didn't like as far as personnel on the field. So 7-0. 7-0, Bengals on top, 4:25 to go. We're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. ICCU Dome, the Bengals defensively facing a big one here. 2nd down and about a yard or 2 to go. It's actually 2nd down and a yard from the Bengal 8-yard line for Northern Arizona. Bengals up 7-0. 4:25 left here in the first quarter. Here's Seth Cromwell. He's hit in the backfield, breaks tackles, and finds his way into the end zone for a Northern Arizona touchdown. Once again, Bengals struggling to make tackles, and that was something that we saw. It's been kind of an issue.
Yeah, a reoccurring theme for this Idaho State defense is just not wrapping up, just bouncing off a couple of the guys. It's right there. They had a shot to get him at about 1 or 2 yards, and he bounces off a few Bengal defenders. Even the ones that hit him in the end zone, he just runs right through, stays on his feet. Seth Cromwell in for his first touchdown of the day.
Sam Hunsaker in to attempt the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:19 left here in the opening quarter, we are knotted up at 7 apiece as Northern Arizona takes 6 plays to go 75 yards, 2 minutes, 56 seconds. Seth Cromwell with the rushing touchdown from 8 yards out, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Support for ISU Athletics comes from the Idaho Department of Agriculture and Invasive Species of Idaho, reminding Bengal fans that to tackle invasive species and protect Idaho's water, every watercraft, including boats, paddleboards, and kayaks, must be cleaned, drained, and dried after every use. So, the Bengals now back to even. 7-7 our score after the Lumberjacks found a way to respond after Idaho State took an early 7-0 lead here. Looks like Jonah Burton is back deep. Yeah, Jonah Burton on the return team with Ian Duarte for the Bengals. And a high kick. This looks like maybe returnable, and Duarte will bring it from 2 yards out. Trying to the near side. Duarte out across the 25 to the 27. Nice run back there for the Eagle High School product.
I like the aggressiveness, and he does it in punts and kickoffs. And some of them don't work out, don't get back to the 25, especially on the kickoffs, but it seems like he's due to break one. The way he hits that hole with some conviction, he's the type of guy that will have a few kickoff returns in his Idaho State career.
Doesn't it make you think? I mean, it makes the defense have to think, is he going to bring it? Is he not?
Yeah.
That one, I wasn't surprised that he brought it out, but it's the first one in a little while. So the Bengals will have it at their own 27. Jordan Cook, this time he'll work out of the pistol. Goes with an inside little slant pattern. I can't see who got that. It's going to be a gain, though, of about 4 yards out to the 31-yard line. And the pass was complete. Damian Morgan, first time we've seen Dame get his hands on the football today. Shulikov, the wide out to this side, along with Damian Morgan. Far side should be Nunnally and Burton, I believe. Try to get the binoculars on him to see it is Burton. Now Jonah Burton will split out wide. And a crossing pattern, they get it to Zion Nunnally. And Nunnally's got enough for that Mountain America Credit Union first down just across the 37-yard line. Zion Nunnally quietly having a very good year.
Very good year and a very good last couple of games. And, usually in this offense, it's a lot of slot-heavy passing concepts. But these last couple of games, Zion Nunnally and Mike Shulikov have been around 100 yards, and they're really tough to stop, and they're really good with the ball in their hands.
Zion started the day 6th in the conference with 502 receiving yards on the year. Another pistol formation. Jordan Cook looks out to his left, now comes back right, wide open. This is going to be Damian Morgan, I believe, and tripped up as he gets into Northern Arizona territory. It was Damian Morgan down to the 35 of the Lumberjacks. A Mountain America Credit Union first down for the Bengals. And good read that time by Jordan Cook.
Yeah, great read, great protection there by Idaho State up front, and it actually lets Jordan Cook get off of 2 initial reads and comes down as a check down. And maybe that was a little game planning, knowing that Jordan Cook is really good on his first read, but going through his whole progression there is good to see from Jordan Cook.
This time Shulikov is the slot on the near side. Ball's on the near hash mark as the Bengals move left to right here in the first quarter. We're tied at 7, approaching 2:10 to go. Dason Brooks, 25-20, needs a block, cuts back inside. Dason Brooks to the 10-yard line. A gain of 25 and another Mountain America Credit Union first down.
I don't know if you couldn't see it on that replay, but before the snap, you see Jordan Cook sees something in the defense, turns his head around, says something to Dason Brooks. Curious to see if that was an audible Jordan Cook had seen from the box there from Northern Arizona.
Dason Brooks this time is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Well, one thing we have not touched on when you talk about this Lumberjack defense, they are 12th in the Big Sky Conference in red zone defense.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into this game, 24 red zone possessions. They've given up 20 touchdowns. And you can count one more today, so 21 of 25, and the Bengals love to make it 22 of 26. Down to 1:15 to go. Cook out of the gun, looks out to his left, now comes back right, flings it, finds Damian Morgan, and Damian that time made a little bit of a mistake. He thought he could make the corner down here, or make the defender miss. That was Ramir Davis, the linebacker, and he kind of stepped back and lost maybe a yard or so. So 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line here for Idaho State.
Keep your eyes at the bottom of the screen, going a little single coverage, maybe a little help shaded with the safety over here to the boundary against their jump ball target, Mike Shulikov.
Jordan Cook again turns, says something to Dason Brooks before the snap. Here it is. Now he looks over to his left. He's firing a slant pattern. It's close. Did the ball come out? The ball may have come out. And let's see. If they say forward progress was stopped, we haven't seen a replay yet. Northern Arizona football. So they get their first stop of the year in the red zone, and it takes looks like a turnover to do it. Now the officials are huddled down there, so let's see if maybe there is a replay review here. Oh man, I'll tell you what, he might have reached that ball out. Was that Jonah Burton?
Yeah.
He may have reached that ball across the goal line.
But if he didn't get that across, that was a fumble. Forward progress wasn't stopped.
Well, it doesn't appear that they're going to review this, and now they are. Yeah, now they're going to review this to see. And it's going to be really tough, I think, Cody, because you really need the shot right down the goal line, right?
You don't have definitive evidence from the angle that we got here.
Right.
I think that would stand if that is the best angle we're going to get on it.
Well, they will take a look. In the meantime, let you know that this game broadcast is brought to you in part by Bear Lake Trailer Sales, offering new and used utility, cargo, and horse trailers, as well as sheds and truck beds for nearly 30 years. So the review underway here down at the about the 9-yard line on the east end of the ICCU Dome and Cassia Field.
Let's see where he reaches out here. Oh,
and I just don't know if there's enough from that angle.
And it looked like maybe his left arm had reached over, but you don't see the ball actually controlled by his left hand at all.
Right.
In that angle, it looks like it stays in his right, and where he starts losing control. This might stand.
Well, if it stands, it will be Northern Arizona ball at about the 1-yard line is where they would spot it. It was 3rd and goal from the 6. And they lined up and ran just a little quick slant in. Jonah Burton had lined up wide to the left side of the field. Jordan Cook found him. And this has taken a little while. So it's actually going to be inside the 1. So this will be 2 out of 3 possessions where Northern Arizona will begin inside or at their 1-yard line, if this stands. If it doesn't, the Bengals will have a 13-7 lead, you would think, because it clearly looked like it was a fumble.
From the angle we have, but if they have different angles than what we're seeing up here, which I got to imagine if they're spending this long, then
well, we're
going to
see.
Comes to an end. So
let's see what our white hat says. Yeah, it's upheld, so it's a fumble, and it will be Northern Arizona football. And the Bengal fans not happy, and understandably so. They were that close to retaking the lead.
All right, let's bring out your Bengal defense.
So, Idaho State back on defense. Northern Arizona, for the second time today, starts inside their 1-yard line. The first time, the Bengals got a stop and a great punt return. Pennington, 5 yards deep. Behind him is Cromwell. He'll turn. Now he'll keep it himself, and he is stacked up. And if he doesn't get out, the Bengals think they have a safety, but I think he got the ball back across the goal line. Let's see if we can see a replay. They're saying that he's going to be back to the line of scrimmage. Nate Reynolds thought it was a safety all the way. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Let's see if we can see it.
And that's
going
to do it for the first quarter. So they'll take a look, and at the end of 1, it is the Idaho State Bengals 7, the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks 7. Back for quarter number 2 after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Here at the ICCU Dome. 2nd down and 10 as we flip the field here for the second quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Northern Arizona from inside their own 1-yard line. 8 first downs in that first quarter for the Bengals, 3 for Northern Arizona, 147 total yards to 80. We'll take a look at some of the other numbers here. Dason Brooks, 5 carries for 48 yards in that first quarter and a touchdown. So 2nd down and 10 here. Again, it's a pistol formation. Pennington wants to throw. He'll dump it out underneath, and 1 tackle broken, but the receiver, and I could not pick up his number right away, did not get back to the 5-yard line. And number 15, Nathan Coleman with the reception, but he is stopped right at about the 5-yard line. So call it a gain of 4.5. It's going to be 3rd and close to 6 yards to go here. The Lumberjacks have to get it out across the 10-yard line. So 3rd and a long 5 for Ty Pennington. Pennington takes the snap at the goal line. Pressure coming. He's in trouble. He wings it out, and that's going to be stopped short of the first down, I believe.
Pass is complete for 4 yards.
They got it to Joey Stout, but he's going to be short, and it's fourth down.
Idaho State dialing up some pressure, bringing 6. Gets a couple of guys free, but credit to Ty Pennington, who looked for a little bit that he was going to take a safety there and rolls out, finds his man, gets him a shot to get the first down, but nonetheless, great stop by Idaho State's defense.
Looked like Rylan Leathers, again, coming up to make a stop. There is a reason that young man is the leading tackler for Idaho State. He is everywhere. Here is the punt from D'Aquila, and it's going to be taken on the run, and hit immediately is Ian Duarte. Great coverage. Stop on the play made. I believe that's going to go to number 42, Jordan Lee. So we got a break coming up here, 13:31 to go in the first half, back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. ICCU Dome on the campus of Idaho State University. It's Big Sky Conference football, tied at 7 apiece, 13:31 to go second quarter, and Idaho State takes over after a punt at the Northern Arizona 43-yard line. So the second time this afternoon, the Bengals will start at possession in plus territory. Jordan Cook rolls right, needs some time, steps up, goes deep. He's got Shulikov and sailed it over his head, but flags down everywhere. And they're in that area where you're talking probably defensive holding, maybe?
Defensive holding. I think you could have called it on a couple of guys there, whoever was guarding Mike Shulikov and whoever was guarding Jonah Burton. Just a lot of jersey being tugged on back there.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding penalty against Jalen Wesley, the strong safety. Let's see if we can see it on the replay where Jalen Wesley grabs the jersey. Yeah. So we got double receivers to either side here for Idaho State. Once again, it's a pistol formation. Carson Sudbury in the backfield, and he's going to take it. Sudbury finds a hole, and he'll eventually be stopped out there. But a nice gain on the play. And it's coming up to make the stop was one of our players to watch, Travis Arena, the strong side linebacker.
Yeah, and Northern Arizona's inside linebackers, Travis Arena, and then Brandon Wong, their other stack backer, number 35. Two of the best in the conference, really. Both can rush the passer. Wong, who had missed the start of the season, has been on a tear the last 4 games, averaging about 10 tackles per game and had 2 sacks last week against UC Davis.
Jonah Burton, Zion Nunnally split to the near side. That's the short side of the field. Looking that way is Jordan Cook. Gets a little happy feet. Now rolls out to his right. He's got a man maybe, and now he's just going to run with it, and Jordan Cook gets banged out of bounds on the far sideline. And it looked like maybe Travis Arena was the guy who put the final hit on him. And one of the Lumberjack players looks like he might be down over there. It's 35.
Yeah, that's Brandon Wong.
Yeah, it is. Their middle linebacker. He was the last guy on the play. Jordan Cook popped right back up. Going to pick up a couple of yards on that scramble and run for down to the 30 or 28-yard line. But
Idaho State's offensive front has done a great job giving Jordan Cook some time today. Just right there, just needs to be decisive and take off a little earlier.
We'll check on it, and when we come back, we've got a timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Seconds to go first half. Idaho State facing a third down, and let's call it about 5. Got to get it down to the 23-yard line. So it'll be third down and 5 here for Idaho State from the Northern Arizona 28. And this time Jordan Cook will run, and Jordan Cook decisively makes a move on the ground and gets the first down. And that's another Mountain America Credit Union first down for Idaho State. That has to be a weapon, right?
Yeah, it does. With how athletic Jordan Cook is, he's one of the fastest guys on the team, and sometimes you just don't see it on the field. And right there, you see a little bit of it. I mean, he was decisive, and I think that that's what Cody Hawkins wants out of Jordan is once he decides to run, to be a runner.
got right to the marker. Damian Morgan with Zion Nunnally here to the near side, and we've got a false start, I would believe. Flag down. Yeah, it's a false start on Idaho State. So that'll back them up 5, back to where they were just on that 3rd down and 5 play, to the 28-yard line of the Lumberjacks. So again, it'll be Nunnally wide, slot on the near side, Morgan. Shulikov wide on the far side. And I believe that's Jonah Burton. His jersey's turned where I can't read it. It's actually Duarte. And going to the end zone, looking for Shulikov. And boy, if Jordan Cook can just put a little more air under that pass, that would have been a catchable ball. But he kind of flattened it, threw it with some zip, and Shulikov couldn't catch up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of balls in the vicinity that aren't catchable for Mike Shulikov with that wingspan. But that one, a little high, a little momentum, but just a great job there by squeezing Shulikov to the sideline and making that a tougher area to throw to.
Ran into Mike Shulikov and Hunter Hayes Thursday out at Riverside Golf Course. Played 18 holes right behind him. Just so you know, they can both hit it a ton, a long way. Here we go on 2nd down and 15. Pass is going to be complete to the far side. It's a short gain, but a positive gain at that. That's Jonah Burton. And in on the stop, looked like it was Michael Hurst, number 2, the free safety out of Los Angeles, California. So back to 3rd down and 10 here. Bengals need to get to the 13-yard line. Pressure coming, pass tipped. Yeah, big. I was trying to see who came in and got the pressure on that. I want to say it was Ramir Davis. And let's see, it'll bring out Trajan Sinatra. Was it 43 that came in and got the pass tip? It was.
Yeah, Ramir Davis really came on the last couple weeks. He, just like Wong, had 2 sacks last week against UC Davis. They had a hard time blocking him off the edge.
Redshirt freshman out of Norco, California, making a big play there. So here's Trajan Sinatra, 10 of 11 on his field goal tries. Time to start a new streak. 27 straight, broken 2 weeks ago in Bozeman. This kick is up, and this kick is good. And that will be a field goal for Trajan Sinatra, and the Bengals reclaim the lead at 10-7. We've got 10:59 to go here in the first half. Back with more after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. The Idaho State softball team getting their championship rings. Well, they actually got them a little bit earlier, but they made it public here today. And, boy, what a job Andrew Rich has done with that softball program. We had him on the Coaches Show podcast this week and just got an extension through 2028. So it'll be Idaho State to kick it away here. Their scoring drive, 7 plays, 20 yards, and a 40-yard field goal by Trajan Sinatra. And this kick well over the head of Colby Katsas, and it will be Northern Arizona starting at their own 25-yard line. It's all or nothing for the Lumberjacks. Either start at the 25 or they start inside the 1 their first 4 possessions.
Yeah, these touchbacks are seeming real glamorous to them with where they've started some of their drives today.
Hey, Project Filters reminding listeners that smoking and vaping both increase the severity of respiratory diseases. More information at projectfilter.org. Well, the Bengal defense made a stop on the first possession. Got the ball and scored their first touchdown. They need to kind of step it up here. After pinning Northern Arizona deep, they stopped them last possession, and this time they're going to bring Cromwell. Ball's out! It's on the turf. I believe Northern Arizona has snatched that ball back. Ooh. And it looked like, I thought it might be the old lineman, 72, Ethan Kramer maybe, that came. Oh, no, it was 50. They said it was 50 that came out of there with it for Northern Arizona. Not on my 2 deeps. That would be, no, it can't be 50. That's Micah Carrion, defensive lineman, and he's not playing today. So it'll be a gain of 5. Take it to the 30-yard line. Cromwell hit and dropped, a gain of just a couple. And in on the stop for Idaho State. Did I see 10?
Maka.
Oh, Maka Tuakoi, yeah. Maka kind of moved out of the starting lineup. Cam Willis, he's actually backing up Cam Willis now on that defensive end spot. Bronson Childs is unavailable, so Maka is right there on that near defensive end. 3rd down and 3 from the 32, their own. Lumberjacks need to get it to the 35. Bengals defense, see if they're up to the task. Man in motion across the formation, and not up to the task as first down is going to be gained there by Isaiah Eastman. I believe that's the first reception of the day for Eastman. And it was, and it's good for a first down, a gain of 4 to the 36. Going quickly, Pennington looking, penalty flag comes down. Now comes to the near side, and that ball too high. Penalty flag down at about the 44-yard line, and you, again, maybe in the area of a defensive hold, but could you have a rub pick maybe in there?
With it not being a quick concept,
yeah,
I have a hard time believing it's going to be, yeah.
ISU's going to get dinged with illegal substitution, 12 players on the field. So that's a 5-yarder. It'll be first down and 5. And this is where it gets scary, right? With a good offensive team, every play is an option on 1st and 5. Three receivers left, 1 to the right here. Pretty sure that's Cromwell in the backfield with Ty Pennington. Pennington takes the snap. Gives it over here to the near side and hit, and that was actually Darvon Hubbard. Darvon Hubbard out of Akron, Ohio. Hasn't had a ton of carries this year, just 22 coming into the game today. That's number 23. Needed 5, got 3. It's 2nd down and 2 for Northern Arizona from their own 44-yard line. Pennington pumps once, pumps again, and that pass almost picked off. And it's Mason Young, and good to see Mason Young back there. We have not seen him since he took that big hit in the Northern Colorado game.
Been a leader on this defense. It seems like for a long time. It seems like Mason Young's been here about 6 years.
One of the 2 defensive all-season or preseason all-Big Sky selections. So 3rd down and 2 here. The line to make for the Lumberjacks is their own 46. 8 minutes, 44 seconds. Clock is stopped on the incompletion. Bengals lead 10-7. Lumberjacks moving left to right. Pistol formation for Ty Pennington. They go heavy here on the near side, and the Bengals are going to make the stop. I believe that was Hubbard again. And that might have been Taylor Tuioti. Was it 8?
Yep.
Yeah, Taylor Tuioti came up and made the stop, and actually a loss of a yard. It's going to be 4th and 3. Now, does Brian Wright keep the offense out there? It kind of looks like it. And he will.
For Idaho State's defense, this would be huge to get that possession back from Jonah Burton's fumble in the red zone.
Bengals are 2nd in the conference in 4th down conversion rate defensively. Here is a toss. It's going to get strung out, but it's going to be a first down and more. Looked like the Bengals had that play sniffed out pretty well.
Yeah, and
Darvon Hubbard got a couple of blocks, and he was off to the races and gets it down to the ISU 41-yard line and a first down for Northern Arizona.
And that's all it is for Idaho State's defense this year in some of these big moments is they've got guys there, just nobody making the play.
Yeah. You know, and Cody Hawkins talked about what they did in the bye week last week. A lot of self-evaluation, looking back at film, trying to figure out both offensively and defensively things that that can be fixed or adjusted, and tackling was one of them, and still obviously a work in progress. So 1st and 10 here for Northern Arizona, back into Bengal territory at the 41, and we got a whistle and looks like another timeout. I think Brian Wright called another timeout, which would be his 2nd of the half. Yeah, it was coming up on the play clock. To avoid the delay of game, they take the timeout. Well, we're coming up on the 5:29 mark here of the 2nd quarter. And that reminds us that Idaho's 529 college savings plan is an ideal way to save for college. Getting started is easy. $25 in 15 minutes is all you need, and you can get tax benefits for saving. Why wait? Learn more at idsaves.org. So with 7 minutes, 16 seconds to go here in the second quarter, Idaho State holding a field goal lead at 10-7. Final score. I don't have them handy, but I can tell you winners from earlier today. UC Davis got a win at Northern Colorado. Eastern Washington went into Ogden and beat Weber State this afternoon. I believe that one was 23-20. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the Bengal 41. Pennington's pass over here to the near side. That's going to be caught out there by Hayden Doherty, the tight end, and he's going to be gang tackled, but not before he gets to the 30-yard line. Picks up 11 and moves the chains for the Lumberjacks. And here's the replay on another, once again, Davion Ross was the guy with the first contact, could not bring down Doherty. Hand off this time is going to go to Seth Cromwell, and he'll power ahead for a short gain of 1.
Yeah,
or is it Hubbard? Let's see.
And we've mentioned that this NAU rushing attack hasn't been as effective this year as they were last year, but really in these last 2 games that they have lost on this 2-game losing streak, they ran for 210 yards against Montana State and 165 against UC Davis. I don't know how anyone can run over 200 yards against Montana State with how physical they are.
So that was Darvon Hubbard, and he'll move back into the backfield now. A couple of receivers stacked over here to the near side. Tight end Doherty and a wide out to the far side, which I assume is Colby Katzis on a 2nd down and 9 play. And now that's going to be another timeout. They were up against the play clock again, right? So with 6 minutes and 3 seconds to go, the Lumberjacks are out of timeouts here in the first half. How big could that be coming down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, if they've got a 2-minute drill going in with them getting the ball at halftime as well, that could end up big. And that's a pretty substantial amount of time to burn all 3 of your timeouts. You can't be happy about that. It's not quite as fast as Herbert Gums for Lincoln, burning all 3 of his timeouts about at the 5-minute mark. But,
right.
But it's still pretty early.
Well, it's uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
They're a very well-coached team.
Well, and you're also coming off a bye week. I mean, you've had plenty of time to prepare and look at situations, right? So who knows? Is it a noise thing? Is it just a communication issue where they're not getting the plays?
Yeah, it could be something as small as just a communication issue from up top where they're getting the play calls, where just a relaying issue, because you do have a veteran quarterback that's played a lot of snaps in Ty Pennington, and Brian Wright just burning all 3 timeouts right now.
To this point, 162 yards of total offense for Idaho State, 129 for the Lumberjacks. They've got a 2nd down and 9 from the Bengal 29-yard line, almost the 28. Out of the shotgun, Pennington coming in motion. They're going to give it to the sweep man. No, Pennington keeps it, and Pennington will get it down near the 20. He's going to be stopped just shy. Mason Young in on the stop for Idaho State. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and short. We'll take a look and see if we can see average rushing for 5.2 yards per rush for Northern Arizona at this point in the game. Bengals are at 5.5, but they don't have the ball. There comes the birthday boy, Jaden Bell, linebacker out of Highland High School in Pocatello, turning 24 years old today. Pistol formation. This time it's Darvon Hubbard, and no, they faked it again. They got me again, and they gave it to the man on the jet. And now there's a little extra, and that's Doherty, the tight end down there. He was one of the guys out in front blocking. Looked like, it was Colby Katzis. I thought that was Katzis on the sweep. I saw a 15, and I'm like, I don't think he was the guy.
Man, right here you could see it on the replay. Nathan Reynolds just gets maybe a touch up field, but just out leveraged there with the motion, and Katzis being able to be at full speed by the time that Nathan Reynolds gets past the line of scrimmage. That's a tough play for a linebacker.
So they spot the ball at the 18-yard line of Idaho State. First down, and in the red zone are the Lumberjacks. Back to throw, Ty Pennington. Lots of time, lots of protection. Now flush, now in trouble. Now throws it away. And did they catch it on the near sideline, Doherty? No. That was the ultimate desperation throw by Ty Pennington. He's trying to see who got the pressure. Was it Maka? Who came? Yeah, it was Maka Tuakoi came in there and brought Pennington down just as he was releasing the football. So second down and 10. Katz splits out wide to the far side with Isaiah Eastman. Doherty, freshman out of Gilbert, Arizona, becomes the third receiver as the tight end over on that left side. Here's a little inside play, and that's going to go to Isaiah Eastman, and he's going to pick up good yardage. Made the pass there, and Eastman catches it and moves forward for a gain of, let's call it, 5 yards.
And just a
gain of 4. Third down and 6.
Just a good tunnel screen there to combat the pressure that Idaho State's defense is bringing right here. Gives Ty Pennington in this offense a third and manageable, which you got to like what you have if you're NAU right now, because you're not, even though you're in kind of the lower red zone, you're not forced to score a touchdown here, and leaves you a lot of options in the playbook.
So third down and let's call it 6. Pennington looks to throw. Dumps it off into the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown, and that is going to go. I want to say that was 81. Yeah, Braden Kramer makes the catch, not listed on our two deeps, but Braden Kramer with the touchdown reception for the Lumberjacks. And they have taken their first lead of the day. At 13-10, here comes the extra point by Sam Hunsaker. It comes at the 3:51 mark of the second quarter, and Northern Arizona has taken the lead here on homecoming with 3:51 to go. 14-10 here in the second quarter. Scoring drive for the Lumberjacks. 14 plays, 75 yards. Long drive, Cody. 7 minutes, 8 seconds.
7 minutes and 8 seconds, and very balanced. They were able to run the ball effectively, had a big fourth down conversion around midfield, and right there, Idaho State has an opportunity to get off the field on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and decide to drop 8 there. And Idaho State had linebackers in the middle of the field, but once again, just not getting your eyes on a man in your zone, and Kramer just able to just sink in a soft spot in between the linebackers over the middle and finds his way into the end zone.
Just the 8th reception of the year for Braden Kramer and his first touchdown of the season. So it'll be Sam Hunsaker to kick it away. And it's a high pooch kick. And it's going to be taken by, is that Jaden Bell? Who was that? Oh, no, Frank Kissick. I saw a 5, but I couldn't see the other side there. So Frank Kissick, one of the up men, takes that, and the Bengals will have the football in good field position, Cody. I mean, they'll have it around the 42-yard line.
And if you're going to pooch kick it, you pooch kick it to a guy that's number starts with a 5.
Yeah. So it's actually back at the 31-yard line where they spot that football. Zion Nunley to the near side. Now coming over to join him is Jonah Burton, Dason Brooks. Off the right hip of Jordan Cook. Stays into block, which he is very good at. Jordan Cook fading back and trying to go deep, and just had to kind of throw that one away.
Had Nunley wide open on the over route.
He sure did, and could not get it to him.
And just right there, those are the situations. When he is rolling out, he has a lot of situations. With him being a good athlete and the type of arm talent he has, should be able to make people pay rolling out. Because we've seen him throw across his body, and that right there just throws off his back foot and just unable to get it in the vicinity of Nunley.
Second down and 10 for the Bengals. Lumberjacks show some pressure. Now he's going to go deep for Jonah Burton, and Jonah Burton cannot catch up with it. Good coverage down here on the near side. I'm going to check. That's Jalen Wesley, the strong safety. He got called for that holding penalty a while back, but that time clean defense and denied that pass to Jonah Burton. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 here for Idaho State. The last thing you want to do if you're the Bengals is give it right back after a 7-minute drive. Try to keep that momentum away from Northern Arizona. Flushed out Jordan Cook. He's going deep and overthrew him again. This time.
Yeah, and that's just 3 plays in a row. Jordan Cook doesn't even let his receivers have a chance for the ball, and that was just a poor drive by Idaho State's offense.
That was Damian Morgan he was looking for down there. So Jordan Cook, he's coming to the sideline with his hands extended and his arms, his hands palms up like thought we had it, but we didn't. So it's going to be a punt. And back to receive is Isaiah Eastman. Eastman averages about 7 yards, almost 8 per punt return. He's returned 10 for 77 yards. Booming punt by Gabe Russo all the way back to about the 10-yard line, and Isaiah Eastman is swallowed up. He'll get it back out across the 10 to about the 12. That is good coverage, and that's good hang time to allow that coverage, right?
Yeah, and with having a drive where you don't get any first downs, have a 3 and out, just having a little bit of edge and flipping the field there, really bails out your offense right there, and that's what's been so great about this Idaho State team is their special teams. It's been great in all facets.
We've talked about that all week long, how special teams could be a big part of this game today, and so far it's been a very positive impact for Idaho State.
And you look at it in the kickoff where they're pooching it afraid of the return as well.
1st down and 10, pistol formation for Pennington. Ball in the middle of the field from their own 12-yard line. They're going to go to the far side, and the Bengals string it out. It's going to be a gain of about 3 over there. Colby Katzis, the man carrying the football. Mason Young, Rylan Leathers, 22 and 21. In on the stop. So let's call it a gain of 3 from the 15-yard line here. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Lumberjacks as we approach the 2-minute timeout. 2:45, clock ticking down. Inside handoff, and finding the second level is Darvon Hubbard. Or check it, that is Seth Cromwell back in there this time. Hubbard had been in on the last couple of series, but this time Seth Cromwell, and he picks up a chunk play of 10 yards, moves the chains, 1st down for the Lumberjacks. Pennington again wants to throw, has a man, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down. And let's find out who the man was. So another 1st down here for the Lumberjacks. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. 14-10, Northern Arizona with the lead here over the Idaho State Bengals. And we will return to the ICCU Dome for the final 2 minutes of the second quarter after this timeout on KISU FM and ESPN+. Coming up at the half, we'll have stats and highlights brought to you by Northern Quest Casinos. Make sure you stick around at halftime. Scott Gross, Cody Graves with you. 1st down here from the 37-yard line. Northern Arizona on their half of the field trying to move the football and increase their lead before halftime, and a pass complete. Here to the near side to Jeter Purdy. First completion of the day there. Idaho State has taken their first timeout of the half at the 1-minute 51-second mark. Yes, ISU alumni, it's time to update your contact information with the ISU Alumni Association. Scan the QR code on the screen and update your contact information. Stay connected with Bengal Pride, the future of Idaho State. So here we go. The big timeout here actually came at 1 minute 53 seconds. But Cody, I was about to say, this is a big time possession and use of timeouts for Cody Hawkins because, I mean, as you said, Northern Arizona just took the lead. They have the ball, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, you can't let NAU double up right here on points with getting the ball at half. And I was curious to see, NAU had 2 ways to go about this drive. If they could get a couple of chunk plays, maybe they don't force ISU to take their timeouts, but right now going to force ISU to take the timeouts.
They give it to Cromwell. He sweeps near side. He's going to have the first down. Big collision out there as Nijah Richards comes in to make the stop along with Cam Willis. But another first down here. Went out of bounds at 146. Nijah Richards out of San Diego, California. It's been around for a little while too, a couple of years. Backed up Tyler Bohannon last year. First down here for the Lumberjacks from their own 49-yard line. Pennington is pressured, has to dump it, and he finds Cromwell, but Cromwell is going to be stopped after a gain of just a couple of yards, and Jaden Bell in on the stop for Idaho State.
Great job by Jaden Bell, just working off of a blocker in that running back slip screen, and Idaho State taking another timeout, thinking if they can get a couple of stops here, they're going to have a chance to get the ball back with some time.
Yeah, with 1:38 right now, I mean, if you could get the ball with a minute, maybe 55 seconds, try to get down and put something on the board to answer back that last touchdown by Northern Arizona. Hey, I want to take a look ahead to next Saturday. Bengals will be back out on the road for their next to last home game of the season. They'll be taking on the number 6 ranked UC Davis Aggies. And game day coverage on KISU FM begins at 1 p.m. ICCU pregame show at 1:30. And Cody and I will have the kickoff at 2 o'clock from UC Davis Health Stadium in California. UC Davis picked up a win today against the Bears of Northern Colorado in Greeley. Second down, let's call it 8. From the Bengal 49-yard line, here is a pass, and it's Colby Katzis, and that's the guy you got to watch out for. He's 4th in the Big Sky Conference in all-purpose yards. Been a little bit quiet today. I'm going to take a look at Katzis. Well, he's had 3 catches for 33 yards, but it's a first down from the 37-yard line, and the pass behind Katzis this time goes incomplete on the near sideline. And the clock will stop with 81 ticks left here in the second quarter. Coming to the sideline, Bo Jakes, defensive lineman. Should have Jake East out there. Actually, Bengals, yeah, there you go. Look for a second as they only had a 3-down lineman, but got their 4-man front. Second down and 10 for Northern Arizona from the ISU 37-yard line. Number 20th ranked Lumberjacks, 3rd straight ranked team that Idaho State has faced this season. And there's pressure right up the middle, and the pass is going to be caught. Nice effort by Darvon Hubbard, and the coverage really not all that bad. Mike Lindsay over here on the near side.
Pennington does a great job seeing pressure pre-snap, even if he knows he's going to get hit. But just a really tough kid that, right there it'd be easy for him to throw it off his back foot and have it go, have it be an errant throw. He still steps into his throws knowing that he's going to get hit.
Decker Hagler was also in on the coverage there on that pass completion here to the near side. Well, this is probably, not needed to be said, but probably the biggest third down play of this first half right here. I mean, the Bengals have to hold Northern Arizona to a field goal try here.
And it's a really tough field goal try at that.
Yeah, from here you would be looking at 50, 51 yards.
I wouldn't be shocked if they do try something right around the sticks, and if they don't get it, but maybe get a couple yards,
they might.
Even if Pennington just has to scramble for a few yards and just make it a little more 4th and manageable.
Well, I will tell you this: Samuel Hunsaker is 1 of 1, 50 plus, but it was right at 50. So you're probably right on the edge of his range here.
Right here.
So 3rd down, 6 to go from the Bengal 33. Bengal defense got to find a way to stiffen up here and make a stop. Pennington wants to throw, has time, and there is the pass completion to Jason Raines, wide receiver out of West Orange, New Jersey, and that looks awfully easy, down to the 21-yard line. 14-10, Lumberjacks lead. They go quickly, Darvon Hubbard, and Hubbard into the second level, and Darvon Hubbard will take it inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Gain of 17 yards, and the clock will stop while they move the chains with 58 seconds left. Bengal defense struggling here in this second quarter. Did a pretty good job to start the game, but that was when field position was in their favor, right? So here we go. Hubbard, the running back in a pistol formation behind Ty Pennington. Hubbard's going to keep it, and Hubbard is going to make it to the end zone. And penalty flag down, though. Got a penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage. You wonder if, well, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.
Legal formation or offsides. Looks like they're going to
take
call
a
it.
look. Bengals are offside. They'll decline that penalty, and the Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks have taken a 20-10 lead on that touchdown by Darvon Hubbard. And for Hubbard, just his second rushing touchdown of the year. Sam Hunzecker trying to make it an 11-point advantage. Out of the hold of the punter, Ben DeQuilla. There's the snap, kick on the way, and that is good with 34 seconds left. It is now 21-10 Lumberjacks. And they've just been out there for a lot of plays. They had a 7-play drive or a 12-play drive with 7 minutes, I think, the last one, right?
Yeah.
This one was 12 plays. It only took 2:44, but the problem is the time that, the number of plays that the Bengal defense is out there.
It did
26 plays over the last 10 minutes of possession time, 9 or 10 minutes.
And it really didn't help Idaho State's offense having a 3-and-out, which puts the defense right back out there. But Idaho State's defense is doing it to themselves right now, just unable to stop the run. And if they're going to be able to run the ball like that on you, they're going to continue to go to it, continue to have long drives, and then the faster you're going to wear down as a defense.
Well, it's going to be critical that the Bengals get those guys some rest at halftime, and because the defense is going to have to come right back out on the field to start the third quarter.
Yeah, the timeouts were not an issue for Brian Wright and this Lumberjack team because they just made this little middle section of the game exactly how they'd want it to go.
Last time it was a pooch kick. This one, about the same. They kind of squibbed it. And it's going to be Ian Duarte. Duarte to the 20 and going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Good pursuit on the special teams there for Northern Arizona. Cornerback Quentin Moulton. And it looked like, Chris Williams, the defensive back, came and cut that corner down. It looked for a moment like Duarte might get the corner and turn it upfield, but couldn't do it. So the Bengals will have it at their own 27. 28 seconds left, no timeouts, trailing 21-10.
Mike Shulikov still without a catch today.
Jordan Cook, 10 of 15 for 96 yards. Now he's going to step up, slips as he throws, but the catch is going to be made over here on the near side by Jonah Burton. That's enough for a Mountain America Credit Union first down. The clock will stop with 21 seconds left. As they set it for play, the Bengals have to be ready. It's moving now to 18. Here's Jordan Cook. He wants to throw, and now a whistle. And not exactly sure what happened there. Because from what I could tell, no timeouts left. Looks like it might have been a situation where they spotted the ball.
Yeah.
So did they reset the clock to 21 seconds? Oh, they're going to review to see if he caught the pass. Okay, didn't take that into consideration because it came awfully late. But the Bengals were also trying to hurry, so it made it a little tighter. So they'll review that last throw to Jonah Burton, and we'll see if we get a replay of it to determine whether or not the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line, or whether they'll have another or have a 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Either way, they're on their half of the field.
And inconsequential, really, because even if it is incomplete, you have more time, which might help.
That's true.
Idaho State.
I don't know. I think he might have got his hands under it.
Oh, you see it laying in between his legs there. Unless that's his knee. Yeah, you see it. Oh, maybe that is his knee.
He's got his hands out. It looks like his hands are under it. I don't know.
Not enough pixels for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, here's a different angle from the sideline. And it's really difficult to tell. And if it's that hard for us, I would guess it's probably that difficult for the officials to try to determine whether that ball touched the turf or not. But you're right, Coach. I mean, it could be 22 seconds maybe. It might give you an extra second or two. As they continue to check out the replay.
I've got to imagine it looks like they have confirmation that they're going to uphold the call, and right now they're just working on how much time is left on the clock and where to run it down from once he gives the go to start the clock.
Well, the original play was 21 seconds.
Yeah.
And they set the ball for play. 1 second or a couple seconds ticked off because they went ahead and tried to snap it. The clock right now shows 14 seconds. So if it's a review, then that clock's got to go back to 21, and when they're ready for play, they'll start the clock. That's the way I understand it. I'll tell you one thing we noticed last night in the men's basketball game. New rules this year on reviews and coaches' challenges. Not one review last night. And the only thing they can really review is out of bounds, the restricted area under the basket, and there was one other thing that coaches can challenge, and you only get one.
Huh.
Now, if you get it right, you get another one.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to say it's incomplete. So it should be 21 seconds. 21 seconds on the clock then. Or 24, because by the time they got over there. So they're going to put 24 on. And like you said, the field position, not the biggest issue here. It's the time on the clock.
Yeah, you have no timeouts left. You need to push the ball downfield a little more than that.
Yeah, I agree. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Idaho State from their own 27-yard line after the review. Pass was incomplete to Jonah Burton. Back to throw and rolling out to his right. Now stepping back and firing it deep down here. He's got Zion Nunnally. That's got to be a penalty flag, and it will be at the 40-yard line with 14 seconds left. And I'm not sure who they're going to get for sure. We'll see here in a moment. 4 and 43 were in the area. 43 is Ramir Davis. 4 is Michael Beresford. Sophomore out of Long Beach, California. Brian Wright talking with the official over there on the far side of the field. So that'll be 15 yards. Not a spot foul like the NFL. I don't know, would you like to see a spot foul in college like they do in the NFL? Or no? Is 15 good enough for a college game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Partly just I don't like change.
Right. I got you. So the ball at the 42-yard line for Idaho State. They're on their own half of the field with 14 seconds left. Cook rolls out, fires up here. He gets it to Nunnally, and Zion scampers out of bounds at the 43, 44-yard line. Look, You got time for one more play to the boundary like that. If you can get it to about the 35, I think you give Trajan Sinatra a chance.
Yeah.
Here's a replay of that. It was a nice throw on the run and heads-up play by Nunnally. So the ball at the 43-yard line of NAU. Here comes the quick throw, and they get it over here, and they get it to the 35-yard line with 5 seconds left. Look, you got to try it.
Yeah.
You got to try it.
Unless you think you can get one more.
I think you're cutting it too close. Yeah, you're cutting it too close. Trajan Sinatra, 1 of 1 from 50-plus. What was it, 56 he hit?
Yeah. This one's going to be about a 52.5-yarder.
Yeah, we'll call it, call it 52. From the near hash mark with 5 seconds left. No timeout, so they're going to kick this thing away. Kick is no good. Looked like it might have been a touch short and a little bit to the right. And that's going to do it for the first half of play here, as Northern Arizona finishes it strong here, 21-10. They are going to go to the locker room, but that second quarter, they really kind of took control of things, and especially in the last, 12 minutes?
Yeah, took control of really time of possession and found a rhythm offensively, and were really balanced. And Idaho State's defense couldn't do much about it, and then went out there sandwiched in between those two long drives was the 3-and-out, which didn't help it on the tail end, and NAU just really taking control of the momentum going in at halftime.
So that's going to take us to halftime. 21-10, Northern Arizona with the lead over the Bengals of Idaho State, celebrating homecoming. We'll be back with more after this time out on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Dome, Scott Gross with you. Cody Graves taking just a little bit of a break, but he'll be back. Let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics here. As you can see, Northern Arizona with a 21-10 lead, and they really did their damage late from the midpoint of that second quarter in. 118 total yards rushing, 128 through the air. They've outgained the Bengals 246 to 185. First downs pretty much even, 14-12 here in the first half. When you take a look at some individual numbers, well, let's take a look at some highlights first of all. We can do that. We'll take a look at some highlights from the first half. Here's that first Bengal touchdown, a great run by Dason Brooks, and that gave the Bengals the lead. And then Northern Arizona answers back. Another touchdown there by Seth Cromwell. That tied the game at 7. Bengals looked like they were going to go in for a score. Cody, huge fumble right there by Jonah Burton.
Huge, and when you tell the story of the first half, it all comes down to that right there. I mean, a huge swing that Idaho State just never recovered from in the second quarter.
And this is going to be the fumble that it looked like ISU might have gotten back, but Northern Arizona kept the possession and then ended up going for the score here, and that was Braden Kramer, I believe that's who it was. And then Darvon Hubbard. You know, he hadn't done a whole lot, only 22 carries on the season coming in, but they've used him today. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Games going on around the Big Sky Conference today. Of course, last night, Montana with that big win on the road at Sacramento State. We talked about Eastern Washington with their win over Weber. UC Davis, you know, that was a little more of a battle probably than people thought, an 11-point win in Greeley. Idaho, no problem with Portland State. They're 0 forever this year. They're 0-8 in 0-4 in conference are the Vikings. And, of course, Montana State, Cal Poly, they tip off in about 30 minutes. They'll kick that one off down in California. Anything jump out to you there, Cody?
No, I think that Northern Colorado, UC Davis with Idaho State's next opponent being the UC Davis Aggies. I think that's interesting. But, you know, Northern Colorado, not an easy place to play, but a little higher elevation for the Aggies. But, I mean, it shows you Northern Colorado is a little feisty. They're tough. I mean, they beat a U of I team up there in the Kibbe Dome. And, I think UC Davis still a very tough team and very much in contention for the Big Sky Conference Championship.
So we're at halftime. It is 21-10. Northern Arizona leading the Idaho State Bengals here on homecoming weekend. And we'll be back with the second half after this time out on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Dome. Halftime here as the Idaho State Bengals find themselves behind 21-10. And as you can see, homecoming, and Cody, we talked about a little earlier, Pocatello loves a parade. But when you combine that with homecoming in Idaho State and the tailgating scene here, that's one of the things that's probably improved the most over the last 5 or 10 years, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And they have a little area where student tailgates are, and then some of the more legacy tailgates on the other side, and it's
football alumni team.
Oh yeah, that's the staple, really.
Yeah, football alumni team, the Fat Club from Idaho State. They have a building over here on the east side of the ICCU Dome, but as you can see, lots and lots of participation. Some of the basketball players today were in the parade with one of our local restaurants and stuff. Even the Century Diamondbacks high school, cheerleaders were in there. So just a great week of homecoming festivities all year long here around the campus of Idaho State University in Pocatello. So, like I said, homecoming's a pretty special thing, and even had the local Shoshone-Bannock tribes involved there. It was great to see. And it turned out to be a great day. We thought it might be a little cool and rainy, but so far the rain has stayed away, and it was about 60 this morning for the parade, so pretty nice weather.
For Pocatello, almost November, it's about as good as it gets.
Well, you figure we are, a week away from November, right? Halloween coming up on Friday. Are we going to dress up to get on the plane to go to UC Davis or no?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That is Halloween.
Look, I'm scary enough as it is. I don't need a costume, so we'll call it good. But the Bengals coming out here, there may be no bigger defensive series than this one for Idaho State, because Northern Arizona scored on their last 2 possessions. They made it look pretty easy, and the defense spent a lot of time on the field, so they need a short duration, right, on this first possession.
Yeah, there's a lot working against Idaho State right now. One of the keys of the game was to start fast, which you knew was going to be tough coming off a bye week. Usually off a bye week, you start a little bit flat and work your way up. And right now, Idaho State is flat, and if they don't get a stop here, this crowd will be out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if Northern Arizona goes down and scores a touchdown this drive, a quarter of this crowd will get up and leave.
Well, Ty Pennington has been solid. 16 of 19, no interceptions, 1 touchdown, 128 yards. Jordan Cook, 12 of 18, no interceptions, no touchdowns, 119 yards. So that's not a huge number when you look at the rushing numbers. Lost it. There it is. We'll take a look at total rushing yards here. 118 to 66. Northern Arizona has rushed 19 times for 118 yards, so better than 6 yards a pop. And the kick from Mason Lindbergh, 6 yards deep into the end zone, and we are underway for the second half. Bengals trail 21-10. Needing a win to even their record in the Big Sky Conference at 2-2. But more importantly, build a little confidence going on the road to UC Davis next Saturday, because the number 6 ranked Aggies are no joke. Caden Pinnock is a very, very good quarterback, and Samuel Batu, their top receiver,
electric.
He is electric. That's a great description.
At least Lan Larison's not down there
No, that's
anymore.
a good point. We love Lan. He's an Idaho kid. We just wish he'd worn Bengal orange, right? Here is a handoff, and it's going to be Seth Cromwell, and the Bengal defense grabs him around the ankles and stops him, and that's Taylor Tuioti. So a nice stop by Tuioti for the Bengals on first down here, and that'll make it 2nd down and 10.
And here's the blueprint for Idaho State's defense in this second half is win on 1st and 2nd down, then bring pressure on 3rd down and force Pennington to make some errant throws.
Pennington wants to throw. Pennington steps up. He's got some room. He'll be stopped after a gain of about 5. He went down. His knee went down inside the 30, so we'll give him 5. But it'll be 3rd down and a long 5. So a huge, huge 3rd down here for this Idaho State defense. If they want any chance really of kind of making a statement or getting something going
and
to
really,
start this
really,
half.
Yeah, really from an environment perspective
Yes.
right now, where it's
Proving
to this crowd that they could come up with stops in this second half.
Cam Willis on the far side. Looks like he's going a little wide, wants to bring pressure. Got to keep Pennington contained between the tackles if they can. He's back to throw. Pennington going deep, and it's knocked away. Incomplete, intended for Jason Raines. And now there's a little noise, right? Just like you said, the Bengal faithful see their defense come out and make a stand. Now, the question is, Jordan Cook's numbers are not terrible, but they're not Jordan Cook numbers. He's overthrown a lot of balls today. What do you think was said to him at halftime?
Just to let the offense work, because we haven't seen it really in rhythm. Those first couple drives of this game, it was in sync. The run game was on. I mean, they had over 50 yards rushing in the first half and have 66 total.
Here's DeQuilla's punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 26-yard line. Ian Duarte hauls it in, and Idaho State will bring their offense out onto the field trailing 21-10. Now, we talked about how big a possession that was defensively. It's probably even bigger for the offense here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and with how good this offensive staff is, they went in, made some adjustments, and they're going to simplify the game for Jordan Cook. And we've seen it before. Jordan Cook playing from behind, he lets it fly and usually steps up in these moments.
So the Bengals 1st and 10. They're at their own 28-yard line. And it's going to be a run, and it's going to be Dason Brooks, and he breaks a tackle, and it's going to end up with 4 yards on the carry, which, is a couple more than it looked like when initial contact was made. And you can see it here on the replay. Broke an ankle tackle there and then drug a couple of guys. So 2nd down and 6 for Idaho State. 13-15. Clock moves. Third quarter. Bengals trail by 11. It's homecoming. Pressure on the home team to help the celebration along. Dane Morgan splits out wide here to the near side. Went into motion and got there. And here is a pass, a slant pass. And a catch is made. It looked like there were 2 receivers there, and coming out of there with it for his first catch of the day is Mike Shulikov. I thought there was an underneath guy that he went to.
That was some sleight of hand trick that I'd see on the strip in Vegas. It was like 3-card Monty. Oh, yeah, it did get tipped.
Mountain America Credit Union helping guide members through life's financial journey and donating $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for every Bengal first down. And that Mountain America Credit Union first down gives the Bengals the ball at their own 45-yard line. Plenty of time. Lofted out, far side. And again, that looks like a throw. He was trying to get it. That was Dason Brooks out of the backfield.
Dason Brooks just he was the check down and saw some open space, so he just kind of turned it into a wheel route. And had him wide open, and Jordan Cook just got to understand that with your running back out there, he's not a receiver.
Right.
He's a little more stubby than Michael Shulikov. And put it on him.
Yeah.
Put it on his chest.
Well,
Don't give him a choice.
A few times today where the ball's been really flat. It's just hard. Sometimes you got to put some air under it and give it a little touch, right? So here we go, 2nd down and 10. Cook has Dason Brooks on his right hip. Now he's going to loft it up. Now he comes to the near sideline. It's caught. It's Damian Morgan. Flag comes down. Touchdown Idaho State, but let's check the flag. Damian Morgan caught that on the run, but let's see if it all comes back.
They're going to call a pick play. I don't know if I agree with.
Well, we'll see if we see a replay. Here it comes. Let's check the replay. They're going to bring it back. They're going to call it on Mike Shulikov. They said he ran a pick. There was contact.
But he finished the route. He finished the route, and that's what they asked for.
Right.
That's what the refs asked for, because there's always going to be rub. There's always going to be a rub in some route concepts.
Yes.
But he finishes the route. It wasn't like he just blocked the player.
Right, he didn't stop running and block him.
He finished the route as a stop route, a little hitch.
So here we go, and that's just the replay of the end of the play there that, unfortunately for the Bengals, ends up coming back to the 30-yard line their own, where it's going to be 2nd down and 25. So here you just got to get a chunk here and a chunk there and try to make it manageable. They're going to give it to Dason Brooks, and Dason's going to push ahead for about 3 yards down to the 33. So it's going to be 3rd down and a bundle here for Idaho State. 3rd down and 22. 12 minutes in the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter. What looked to be a huge momentum swinging play gets called back on a hard-to-take penalty call. How about that? I won't say it was bad, just hard to take. Tough, maybe?
I'll say it was bad.
Okay. From their own 33, Bengals have to get it to the 45 of Northern Arizona. Pressure coming. Jordan Cook now. He steps up. Penalty flags come down. Jordan Cook's going to get it back almost the original line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a hold in that area, you would think. Brandon Wong, the middle linebacker, was down on the ground. So let's see what we have. Officials taking their time here. And it is going to be a hold on Idaho State. So they called that on Jake Hellman. It's going to be 4th down and about 12 here for Idaho State from their own, actually 17. No, 12. Yeah, from their own 42-yard line. They get the 43. So 4th down and 12. You ever think about a fake right here? I mean, it'd be a tough one if you don't get it, but it's not a spot of the field that's too bad, right?
No.
But you've got Gabe Russo, and he's got a boomer. And it's a good high hanger, and it's going to drive Eastman back to the 5-yard line. And then there's a penalty flag coming down, so that might be a hold, right?
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
If that's a hold, that's going to put it back half the distance. So let's check it out here. Got a break coming up, but let's see if the officials will tell us what we have going on before we go to a break. I can tell you we've got 11:16 left here in the third quarter. Northern Arizona up 21-10. The ball was fair caught at the 5-yard line. And our white hat, who unfortunately I do not have his information. So it is an illegal block. That'll take it down to about the 2.5-yard line. And with 11:16 to go and the Lumberjacks up 21-10 here in the third quarter, we're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. And the Bengals once again will have Northern Arizona pinned inside their 5. It'll be the third time today that Northern Arizona has started a possession inside their 5, and the other 2 were at the 1 or just inside, Cody. So the Bengals have been good in this situation. Need a 3 and out again here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They need to get their offense back out there onto the field. A series of unfortunate events on that last drive, really no fault of their own, and just getting behind the sticks.
And here is a run by Darvon Hubbard, and he's going to lose yardage. Bengals stacked him up there. Bevy of Bengals in there. I think Jake East maybe, 98. Yeah, there it is. Nice stop by the Bengal defensive line. So 2nd down, let's call it 11 from about the 1.5-yard line. Somehow or another, the Bengal offense has got to get on track, and especially if the defense does their job here, they stand to get pretty good field position out of this exchange if they can make the stop. And that's close to a safety. He's going to get out across the goal line. But no gain there. And that was Darvon Hubbard on the carry for Northern Arizona. Dragging him down from behind, Nate Reynolds.
Ooh, almost had him.
Yep, surely did. So the ball at the 1.5-yard line, 3rd down, and call it 11.
And I got to imagine they're going to try to roll out, maybe get Pennington on the run, but the tough part about rolling out in the end zone is a holding call, right?
Yes,
that would result in a safety.
So here you go on a 3rd down. Pennington is going to throw. He's looking down the far sideline. That's going to be a penalty flag, and that was a hold. You could see it from here, I'm pretty sure. I think that was Jackson Daniels, was it not?
Yep.
Just
picking on the young corner.
And it looked like he had a handful of jersey, and that's gonna bail out the Lumberjacks. And the Bengals just cannot get the stop when they need it.
Penalties are just killing Idaho State right now.
For Idaho State, that'll be, well, they're showing 3 for 25, but I think that's going to make it 4 for 40. I'm not sure that's updated just yet, but That one was a heartbreaker.
Critical moments.
Yes. Takes it out to about the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 here for Northern Arizona. Inside they go, and an opening and a big gainer here on the ground for the Lumberjacks. And coming out of there with it, Darvon Hubbard. Hubbard having a day here for Northern Arizona. And again, contact at the line of scrimmage, but he kind of ran into his own blockers. There was not a lot of orange jerseys to make a stop. Hubbard on the day, 7 carries for 38 yards. This time they're going to go on the sweep, on the jet sweep. They go to Isaiah Eastman, and there to sniff it out was Cam Willis, right? Is that 1? Oh, it was 3. Sorry, that was Janari Boone. Janari Boone. I thought it looked a little small for Cam Willis, but I just missed it. So, 2nd down and 10 here. They did give Eastman the line of scrimmage on that running play. 8 minutes, 38 seconds. Clock is moving here in the 3rd quarter. Lumberjacks moving right to left here. Here's Colby Katzis. They might be looking for him in the flat. They are. They fire it over there. Ty Pennington has him, and he is wrapped up after a gain of maybe about 5. Might be a little less than that. Make it a gain of 4 to the 48-yard line. Rylan Leathers and Maka Tuakoi combined for the tackle. So another big 3rd down play here. 3rd down and 6. Lumberjacks need to get it to the Bengal 46-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Keep your eyes at the bottom of the screen. If Jackson Irwin, that's wearing the number 25, gets a one-on-one with the tackle.
Pennington in trouble. Pennington, that's got to be a grounding penalty, I would think. He was not out of the pocket. I don't think anybody was close, and let's wait and see. The officials will review it. But a great play by Idaho State. They said there was no foul. That was Cam Willis. I tried to call him the play before, but he makes this one. And let's take a look here. I think we're going to have a replay of that.
They're going to say that Colby Katzis was in the vicinity, which he was. He was almost down. That's just good awareness right there by Ty Pennington.
So the Bengals defense has made 2 stops, even though a 15-yard pass interference looked like it might derail this particular defensive effort. As now they're going to review. Oh, they're going to check to see if the quarterback was down.
Yeah.
So that could work out great for the Bengals. That would move Pennington back. I'm going to say he was back around what? Around the 35-yard line,
yeah,
maybe?
Between the 30 and the 35.
Yeah. So we'll see how this works out. While we have a moment, I'll let you know that the Idaho Transportation Department reminds Bengal fans that when taking eyes away from driving for just 5 seconds, a person has traveled the length of a football field without seeing the road. So the officiating crew here going to take a look.
That's going to be tough. They're going to need to slow that down because his knee almost gets wrapped under Cam Willis. It looks like.
So maybe he was on Cam?
No, he had a leg underneath. It almost hard to tell if his knee was down. They're really going to have to slow it down to be able to see it.
Going to run this again, and let's take a look.
Yeah, see how his leg just right at the one underneath.
I think he's down, don't you?
Where
or is it Cam's white sleeve? See, that's what's hard to tell.
His leg is down, but I can't tell how far up the shin that's down. His kneecap doesn't look like it hits the ground.
But the shin counts, right? If you're down on the shin and the calf
I don't know
area.
where you draw, because watch the back leg here. Go, see?
They might be saying that he was on
right
top
here.
of.
But look, the leg.
Boy, that is so close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can overturn it, do you?
No, I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Either way, look, the Bengals are going to get the ball back. I mean, unless they fake punt it and convert it. But if the play stands, then so they will take a look at this. But so we got a timeout on the. It's a high driving punt, And Duarte gets drilled as he tries to catch it. It went into the end zone. And Ian Duarte just got leveled. And I don't see a penalty flag. They did move that ball back to the spot, though, because that. Let's take a look here and see what we've got. Duarte standing there.
Oh my gosh.
That's got to be something.
What are we looking at?
Dan Hawkins
That
is out there
incredible.
on the field. Cody Hawkins is losing his mind on the near sideline with the line judge.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the most
that is-
animated I've seen Cody Hawkins on a sideline maybe in his tenure here.
Hey, and coming off of last year where it was clear that the officials missed an extra point,
Yeah.
there's a lot going into this game.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if I can get fined, but that is just a horrible call.
Or no call, if you will.
Yeah, horrible
right?
no call. That is
So the
just
Bengals are going to have the ball at their own 21-yard line. Make it now the 20. So they add insult to injury and move them back another yard. 3 receivers out here to the right side for Jordan Cook. Looks like Nunnally split out to the left of the short side of the field. Here comes a quick pass. It's complete. It comes here to the near side, and it's going to be a nice gain. I believe that's Damian Morgan. It was Damian Morgan, pushed out of bounds by Kenyon Moses and Quentin Moten. But that's enough for a Mountain America Credit Union first down. Bengals get it out to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 there. Ball now on the near hash mark. 6:55, clock moves third quarter. Bengals down by 11. Here is Dason Brooks, and Dason Brooks on his feet. He's out across the 40, close to the 42. He'll pick up a chunk of 9 yards on that carry. Dason Brooks now should be 8 carries for 64 yards, unless that updated that quickly. It did not. It's 8 for 64, so he's averaging 8 yards a carry today. He definitely looks more fit, more healed up. So 2nd down and a yard to go here for Jordan Cook. Got a pair of receivers out to the left, 2 bunched over here on the near side tight. Here's Dason Brooks, looks for a hole, finds it, stays on his feet. He's into Lumberjack territory, knocked down at the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 10 and another Mountain America Credit Union first down.
great job there. Idaho State goes more, since they never have a tight end in the box, a blocking tight end. That's more their counter look, even though it's just one polar. They pull their tackle. I like the way that Dason Brooks runs that, whether you want to call it power or counter with them pulling, but William Davis has been good at that, dating back to last year. Most effective run play in their arsenal.
Here is Jordan Cook back to throw. He's got the slant. He's got his man. And that is going to be 11 yards for Zion Nunnally and another Mountain America Credit Union first down. You know what it looks like all of a sudden? Short, quick hitters and running plays. Maybe they've kind of sensed that Jordan's not on for those deep balls today.
Yeah.
Or they're just trying to lull the defense to sleep.
And this is what the offense should have been looking like in that second quarter when they couldn't get much going.
So the Bengals only down by 11 here at 21-10. We got coming up on 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Carson Sudbury in at running back here. Carson's going to take it. He tries the right side, and he's going to keep the pile moving. And Carson Sudbury, the redshirt freshman out of South Jordan, Utah, powers his way forward for, well, let's call it 5, down to the 33-yard line. You know, he doesn't look big, but he's strong.
Very strong lower half, and really athletic. We've talked about him in pass protection, how good these Idaho State running backs are in pass protection, and he might be the best.
Shulikov and Morgan over here to the near side. They're going to give it to Sudbury again, and this time Carson tries to spin away from the defense, cannot. And no gain on that play. See who the first Lumberjack there might have been. Can't tell for sure. Might have been 41, Blake Lorenzen, the linebacker. So 3rd down and about 5. Here's the shovel pass, and it's read pretty well, and Carson Sudbury can't convert it. So that'll get them to the 30-yard line.
Wow.
It's going to be 4th and 2. That drive showed some promise, but in the end, it's going to end in a Trajan Sinatra field goal try of 47 yards. 3:30, clock moves. This could make it a one-possession game. He's 1 of 2 today. Tried a long desperation field goal at the end of the first half from 52 that came up short. Here is the hold. This kick on the way, and that one looks no good. It hung out on the left side. I thought he had it, but it hung wide left, and that'll do it, and we've got a timeout. 3:16 to go here, third quarter. The lead stays at 11, 21-10 for the visitors, Northern Arizona. Back after this break on KISU-FM and ESPN+. Here we go, Big Sky scoreboard from today. Eastern Washington with that win down at Weber State. UC Davis gets by Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado might be one of the most frustrating teams, or frustrated teams right now, right? Idaho, a big win over Portland State, 45-6. And Montana with a win last night down in Sacramento. So here we go, back to the action here. First down for Northern Arizona from their own 30-yard line. And they flip it out, and Trey Shorty runs the man out of bounds on the far side. That was Joey Stout on the reception, the wideout from Turlock, California. Picked up 3, let's call it second down and 7. Pair of receivers over here to the near side. Also have a slot man set off the end of the line here. Going to give it to Curran Gossett. Gossett, first time he's touched the ball today. He's been on kind of a streak lately. Curran Gossett had 57 rushes coming into the game today, and that's the first time he's touched it. And he picks up a big chunk of yardage there out to nearly the 45-yard line. He was averaging 5.1 yards per rush. But kind of funny, they hadn't used Darvon Hubbard a lot. They've used him quite a bit today, and Gossett really hasn't touched the ball very much until then. Well, nothing till then. This time they've got the tight end, Hayden Doherty, lined up on the right side of the line with a pair of receivers to his right. Here comes the inside handoff. This is Gossett again and again. You know, they had a Bengal down there on the bottom of the pile. I'm trying to see who that was that had him around the ankles, just could not get him stopped. And that was Bo Jakes. But Gossett just able to kind of keep his feet moving and fall forward and picks up, let's call it 5, out to the midfield stripe. So second down and 5 here with 1:40 left in the third quarter. No scoring here in this third quarter as of yet. Defenses have kind of stepped up here. But a big second down and 5 play here for the Bengal defense. This time Pennington's going to set up the screen to Doherty. Doherty makes the first man miss. Penalty flag comes down. There might be a hold there. And I think that's maybe what we'll see. 2 flags down. Let's see. Bengal fans are hoping the official points to the east end zone. Now let's take a look at it. Yeah, I think it's a hold on the inside there. Hayden Doherty made a nice move. And our white hat does indicate indeed holding, 10-yard penalty. That is a big, big play for this defense. Gives them a little window, right?
Yeah, and Idaho State's defense needs to take advantage. Now viewing it that you won on first down, created a negative play on first down, get a second and long, have to win here, and then force them into a position where they need to throw the ball, and you bring a little bit of pressure, and Idaho State, would love a turnover here.
Well, it's second down and 12, and they need a turnover. A fumble, a strip, a pick. Stout is one of the receivers out there on the far side, and now Pennington wants to run with it, and Pennington is going to be drugged down. Nice open field tackle there by the Bengals. And I'm trying to catch who it was.
Looked like Decker Hagler down
It was
here.
Decker Hagler. Another Idaho product over in your neck of the woods.
Yep. Middleton, Idaho. I played with his brother, DJ.
Yep.
Douglas Jr.
So we got 3rd down and 7 here. The line to make is the Bengal 46-yard line. Defense wants to keep them shy of that and by more than just a little. Curran Gossett is the running back. He moves from the right to the left side of the quarterback, Pennington. Pennington has all day. He fires far side, and is it caught? It is. Great effort, and it's the man that you would think it would be, Colby Katzis from Owasso, Oklahoma. He's in the 5th year in this Brian Wright offense. He gets it.
Yeah, he was freshman of the year in that Division II conference, the MIAA. And you're seeing why, that connection between him and Pennington, because that was just a great throw, good coverage, but only spot Katzis can go get it, and he goes and plucks it out of the air for a huge first down for Northern Arizona.
So a first down at the Bengal 41-yard line, got right to where he needed to go, and here's the inside handoff to Curran Gossett, and he bumps off the pile, dives forward, and he's going to get it down near the 37-yard line. So let's call it 4 yards on that play. Let's take a look at a replay here to see how that all transpired. It looked like the Bengals had him sealed up, but he just popped off the pile.
Yeah, and that's just not staying gap sound there, whoever had outside contain.
And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. At the end of 3, it is Northern Arizona 21, Idaho State 10. We're back for the 4th quarter after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. 6 for the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks from the 37-yard line of the Bengals. Pennington waits, gives the handoff to Curran Gossett, and he is hit, slowed down, and going to be end up with just a 1-yard gain there. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 5. And again, Bo Jakes on the stop, but again, Cody, this is outside field goal range probably for Hunsaker. So Bengals need to really make a stop here and try to force a punt, or at least lose yardage so they don't think about a 4th down.
Negative play here would be huge. Northern Arizona having a lot of success on 3rd down as of the last 2 quarters.
Ty Pennington on 3rd and 5. Lofts it up, looking, end zone. It's incomplete. Good defense that time by the Bengals. And that'll bring up 4th down from the Bengal 36-yard line. About 53 yards, 54 yards from right here. And it looks like the punt unit is coming out. See if we see Ben DeQuilla.
It's field goal unit.
Well, it is. And there's 91, right? Sam Hunsaker, yep.
54.
Got a different holder this time. Heads up, no, that's 39. Never mind, that's Ben DeQuilla. So they're going to try from 54 yards to make it a 14-point lead. The kick is long enough, and it's good, but there is a penalty flag down. And let's see what we have. The Bengals would love this to be on Northern Arizona. Maybe a substitution penalty. We saw one earlier where the Bengals got banged for 12 guys, and I think they're going to get it again.
Oh, no, that makes it a 1st down.
Yep, illegal substitution penalty, and again, a Bengal penalty keeps a drive alive because you can bet Brian Wright's not going to settle for 3 points. From that, he'll take 3 points off the board. So that'll take the ball to the 31-yard line. Mountain View Event Center, a multi-purpose facility in Pocatello for all things sports. Get more information at meceventcenter.com. So here we go, 1st down for the Lumberjacks from the Bengal 31-yard line with 14:09 left in the game, and the Jacks up by 11. Handoff. That's Gossett. Gossett gets past the line of scrimmage into the 2nd level and spins forward, ends up making that a 12-yard gain down to the 19-yard line, and the Lumberjacks are in the red zone. And they're looking to add to this lead. They are 3 for 3 in red zone scoring chances today, and obviously all 3 touchdowns. Turn, handoff. This time Gossett is met at the line of scrimmage, and he'll actually Well, they're going to say he fell forward back to the line of scrimmage. He got hit about a yard or two deep. In there to make the first contact was Taylor Tuioti. Had some help from Colin Lewis of the Bengals. Clock continues to run down here. It's a two-possession game. That's why that field goal was so big. If you have the field goal, you're still only down 2 scores. You'd make this one, and all of a sudden, it's a whole different ball game. Bring a man in motion back over here to the near side, Ethan Clough. Now Ty Pennington wants to run, and he's got a lot of open field, and Ty Pennington will score. Touchdown, Northern Arizona. So Ty Pennington, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. But do we have a flag down? We do, back at about the 12-yard line. Look, I thought there might have been a hold. Let's see. Or a block in the back, maybe. I thought I saw a lumberjack behind a Bengal defender. Yeah, it's a 10-yarder, and that's going to back Northern Arizona up and take the touchdown off the board. So that'll move the ball back to the 18-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from there. Cody, there's never been a bigger time for the Bengals to try to force a turnover.
Yeah, really need one here. And if you're Idaho State, you just need some sort of momentum in life, because right now, there's just nothing in the building. People making their way out towards the exits.
Here is Curran Gossett. He's on the next level, and he will not get to the first down mark. He's going to be stopped a yard shy at the 10-yard line. So Curran Gossett, Colin Lewis credited for the stop. And it's 3rd down and a yard to go here for Northern Arizona from the Bengal 10-yard line.
And just dominating the time of possession, really, since the first quarter.
They really are. 27 minutes to this point to 19 for Idaho State. And Gossett is hit and falls forward, and he's got the first down. Well, it's going to be mighty close. Well, I don't know now. And let's see if they're yeah, they did. He did get just enough for the first down. He needed to get to the 9 and maybe got just to the end zone side of the hash mark there.
And and obviously they'll love to get in the end zone here, make it a 3-possession game, but it's really a win after the field goal. You get that taken off the board because you get the first down, and you're just able to chew up this much more clock right now. Even if you end up with a field goal, it's a win.
And here is Pennington. He keeps it and just powers his way forward down to the 3-yard line. Look, Ty Pennington's a load. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and he uses all of that here with just some really good footwork and speed as well.
Yeah, Idaho State just struggling to tackle Ty Pennington.
Got a timeout. 11:29 left here in the football game. 21-10, Northern Arizona on top. We're back after this timeout on ESPN Plus and KISU FM. 11 minutes, 29 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Northern Arizona knocking on the door. They already have the 21-10 lead. Cody, the way things have been going, this could just about put the icing on the cake for the 20th ranked Lumberjacks this afternoon.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a situation where Idaho State gets into this game. They can score quickly, but things would have to go very right and very quickly for Idaho State.
And one official says touchdown. The official on the far side is marking him short. It was Curran Gossett who took the handoff. That time Pennington, I think for the first time today, was up under center to take the snap. And what do we have? Like I said, the near side line judge or the near side official said touchdown, but the far side said he was short. But they're going to give him the touchdown, so it is a 27-10 lead now for Brian Wright and the Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks. Trying to keep their successful streak against Idaho State alive. They have been very dominant over the Bengals in recent times. And here is the extra point try from Samuel Hunsaker. And that's up and good, and that's 28-10 now, Northern Arizona on top with 11:23 left in the football game. We'll take a break. and give you the scoring drive recap after this timeout on KISU FM and ESPN+. 16 plays, 6:53. 16 plays, yeah. 16 plays, holy cow. You in part by the Idaho Immunization Coalition, reminding Bengal fans to talk with their healthcare providers about staying up to date on wellness immunizations. Serious diseases such as measles, mumps, rubella, polio, whooping cough, and flu can be preventable through vaccination. An immunized Idaho is a healthy Idaho. More information at idahoimmunizationcoalition.org. And on the kickoff return, it will be Ian Duarte. And for the second time today, he returns one out across the 25. And they'll set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, time is short, and the deficit is big. So, do the Bengals have to just resort to going deep now, Cody?
No, I
still have time.
Even their rhythm offense, they have the ability to score quickly. I'm more worried about them not being able to find ways to get Zion Nunnally and Mike Shulik off the ball.
You're right, because it's been a tough day for them.
They live on big plays, and there has not been one big play all day. One big play to Ian Duarte that got erased by an offensive pass interference call.
There's a running play, or a little swing, or it was the jet sweep, I guess was. I was looking down, but it was Dame Morgan. And he's going to get just back to the line of scrimmage, actually lost about a yard. I was looking down at the receiving numbers. Zion Nunnally, 4 catches for 39 yards. Mike Shulikov, 1 for 15. 13. That's not a recipe for success for Idaho State. So second down and about 11 here from their own 26-yard line. Inside handoff, and that's going to be Dason Brooks. And Dason Brooks will take it out to the 33-yard line where the Bengals will face third down and 4. Dason has had a good day today. That should be 10 carries for about 80 yards. So he stays right on that 8 yards per carry average. Here is a pass, far side, and again, just high and over the head. Looking for Damian Morgan, and also over there I think was Jonah Burton. He was a little deeper. And we've got a player down. Northern Arizona defender on the turf here.
Looks like Travis Arena.
It might be. It looks like they're looking down around his ankle. So, they'll take a look at him, and looks like we're going to take a break while they attend to the injured Lumberjack. 28-10, NAU on top. 10 minutes to go in the game. We're back after this time out on KISU FM and ESPN+. 3-yard line. Idaho State going to be facing a 4th down and 4 here. And down 28-10, they got to go for it. They bring number 4, Jonah Burton, in motion towards a formation. Now comes back. He fires, and the pass is caught. It's Zion Nunnally, and that will be a Mountain America Credit Union first down. And for Idaho State, that is their first 4th down conversion of the day. Northern Arizona already 1 of 1. Looks like we might have another Lumberjack down. Looks like it's a 2. As he started to roll over, I thought I saw a 2, but we won't guess on who that is at the moment. 42, Jordan Lee, the strong side linebacker who backs up Travis Arena. Was it indeed Arena? Did you notice during our break? It was Arena. So on consecutive plays, it looks like both strong side linebackers have gotten dinged up. So again, next week, Idaho State will be on the road. They will be in California to take on the Aggies of UC Davis, 6th ranked. Probably not much change in that ranking unless Cal Poly's able to knock off Montana State tonight, which, you know what? Cal Poly's playing some pretty good football. That might be a very competitive football game, and I'll take a look and see if we can check that score real quick.
After watching Montana State recently and how much better they've gotten throughout the year, I have a hard time believing anyone in the Big Sky is going to beat Montana State.
Well, they're just underway. 9:33 left in the first, according to what I'm seeing. Stick around for postgame. We'll run down a few highlights. We'll have our player of the game. And final stats on this one. So first down for the Bengals at their own 40-yard line. They need 3 scores, and they need them pretty quick. And that will not help. A pass too high over the head of Mike Shulikov out at around the 47-yard line. Jordan Cook today has just not had, is it the touch?
Yeah, and you know what it feels like? It feels like the game at Northern Colorado, where he just couldn't seem to make the throws or find any accuracy all game, but they were running the ball so efficiently that game that it made it easy on him, and that, didn't need to make those throws. But right now, Idaho State's offense just flat in both areas.
Twins on both sides. Brooks in the backfield to block. Pass comes to the near side, and that's going to be caught by Zion Nunnally. And they're going to spot him right at the 50, and I think that's going to be enough for a Mountain America Credit Union first down. So from the 50, 1st and 10 here. Coming to the near side is Dason Brooks, and Dason Brooks breaks tackles. Brooks cuts it inside. Dason Brooks on his feet down at the 23-yard line. A 27-yard run, and Dason Brooks is going to go over 100 yards here today.
And that's a tone-setting type of run right there. If you want to get back into the game, do it on the back. Yeah, do it on the back of Dason Brooks, because right there that's showing, he broke about 7 tackles right there.
11 carries, 108 yards, and 1 ICCU touchdown. Here's a pass, end zone, and is it caught for a touchdown? It is! It's Mike Shulikov, and just like that, Idaho State finds lightning in a bottle, and they're down by just 12. That was a catch.
And it was thrown catchable, and it is a great ball. And a great catch.
Just so effortless on that toss. And look at the foot down by Shulikov as he hauls it in.
And he just put a little bit of air on it.
That's all it was.
There's been throws where he's had those opportunities, but just thrown a little too much of a one ball, a little too fast.
Bengals going for 2 here. It would make it a 10-point game with 8:52 to go. Jonah Burton in motion from left to right. In the backfield, Dason Brooks. Jordan Cook takes the snap. He's going to roll. He's going to throw. And the 2-point conversion is good. So Idaho State gets an ICCU touchdown, and that is a big deal because with each touchdown scored by the Bengals, ICCU will donate $200 to student athletes at Idaho State. Helping members achieve success, ICCU is a proud supporter of Idaho State athletics. And Cody Graves, that drive was just what the doctor ordered. 8 plays, 73 yards, but it only took 224. Now, the problem is you got to give the ball back to Northern Arizona, but at least there's a little breath of energy.
A little bit of energy in the building. Let's see if they can use that, and the people still here can make enough noise to make it difficult if Idaho State's defense can get them into some tough 3rd and longs and get off the field, because right now Northern Arizona is going to go out and do what they've done since the start of the second quarter, and that's run the ball, high-efficiency offense, and Ty Pennington's not going to make a lot of mistakes. So Idaho State's going to need to force some bad throws, force Pennington into having to make a play.
Well, Colby Katzis stands back at his own 3-yard line here. Mason Lindbergh, and now we've got a timeout taken. I think Brian Wright thought ISU was coming with an onside kick.
What a perfectly timed timeout, because as Lindbergh was rolling into kicking an onside kick, gave it away that Idaho State was going to kick an onside there. Northern Arizona did not have the hands team up there.
They did not. This game broadcast is brought to you in part by Bear Lake Trailer Sales, offering new and used utility, cargo, and horse trailers, as well as sheds and truck beds for nearly 30 years. So we've got 8 minutes, 52 seconds left in this game here this afternoon. Homecoming for Idaho State. The Lumberjacks are trying to mess it all up and crash the party, if you will. Ty Pennington has just been, it's like you said, not spectacular, not eye-popping numbers, but he's controlled this football game.
He's really controlled the pace of this football game, just really from start to finish, hasn't made any mistakes,
and just went as this offense went and took what the defense has given him.
Here's the onside kick, and it's going to be swallowed up by that man, Colby Katzis. You know, he's a Wortham-type guy. I'm not saying, look, don't get me wrong. Michael Wortham is amazing, but Colby Katzis does everything this team needs, and he just recovered an onside kick to give him the ball at the 44-yard line. It was a great, he played it perfectly.
Yeah, and they find creative ways to get him the ball. Use him a lot in that jet sweep motion. They'll jet bubble him out and just get the ball to him in space. And he's a go-to receiver when they need a play down the field or over the middle. I mean, he's got great hands, and he runs great routes. He's fun to watch. He can really do it all.
First down, Lumberjacks. Pennington puts the ball in the belly, then comes to Doherty, the tight end, and he is going to be stopped, and 3 Bengals on him, and he still will not go down. That is an amazing effort by Hayden Doherty.
Idaho State clearly just going for strip, punching the ball out right now.
Cam Willis was there. I think that was Janari Boone over there as well. I tried to get the glasses on him as quick as I could. Yeah, Taylor Tuioti, right? Down below was Davion Ross. He was the guy that had him around the ankles. So a gain of 2, it'll be second down and 8. Again, Bengals need a turnover. They need a sudden change play right as soon as they can get one. And there is Davion Ross, and he makes a big tackle. Nice play by Davion. He's out of Sacramento, California, a grad student. Backs up Trey Shorty at that nickelback spot. And well played. Huge. Again, how many of these have we seen today? It's third down and 7. And this Bengal defense has got to find a way. Third down conversions today. 7 of 13 for Northern Arizona. That is a high percentage to allow. Bengals fans making some noise. Ball at the 41. Pennington keeps. Pennington has the first down. And just as we said, you know, he's not eye-popping, but he just does the right things.
You need a play. You give him the ball, because right there, that's confidence right there, because you run quarterback power on 3rd and 7.
For Ty Pennington, and I believe including that rush, that's 8 carries for 41 yards.
An impactful 41 yards.
9 for 49, so 5.5 yards per carry. First down at the 33 of Idaho State. This time, they're going to give it to Seth Cromwell. I believe that was 34 I saw as he got spun down. And that's going to be a timeout. Zion To'ota'o makes the tackle for the Bengals. Zion's one of those guys that got moved up in that defensive rotation. He backs up Jake East at that defensive tackle spot. Bengals take a timeout. So let's go back again. We were talking earlier, and we kind of got sidetracked. Next week, Bengals will be on the road at UC Davis. Game day coverage on KISU-FM will begin at 1 p.m. Mountain Time with the Idaho State Coaches Show replay. Then Cody and I will be on the air 1:30 with the ICCU pregame show, and kickoff from UC Davis Health Field will come your way at 2 p.m. next Saturday.
Always a fun place to go down to.
Never been there. This is going to be my first visit.
Yeah.
I've had 3 of them this year. I'd never been to northern Colorado. I had never been to southern Utah. And make it 4. I hadn't been to Montana State to call a game yet either. So, yeah, we're going to get a few firsts out of the way. And next year, I wonder if we're going to end up in St. George. I'm thinking we might have Utah Tech. We'll see. So, second down here and 11. The Bengals D on first down made a great play. Here's Katzis. They give it to him on the sweep, and he turns the corner, and he's upended hard down at about the 28-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6 as they make it. Well, let's see. Put him at the 29, make it a gain of 5. Jackson Daniels gets credit for the stop on that one. Let's take a look at the replay here as Katzis turned the corner, and good hit there. Probably could have wrapped up a little better, but he got low and took the legs out from Kobe Katzis. Jackson Daniels, I'm pretty sure the Bengals are going to be able to keep him around for another year. You know, he played some last year. He was injured. Really just came back. I think we saw him a few snaps at Montana State. Back in the starting lineup today, but this redshirt freshman can play.
And his best football is ahead of him. He's
actually sophomore.
Yeah, he's made a lot of plays. I mean, from the moment he stepped on campus, you could tell how much talent the kid had. You know, he was just a little light in the behind, but found his way to getting some reps. I mean, he's still light, but
6'1", 162.
162. So for being that tall, pretty light, but you don't see it on the field because he comes down and he's physical.
So third down here, and about 6. They've got Pennington pinned up, and he throws it away. And it's going to be fourth down, and that's Zion To'oto'o who forces the throw short. So it will be fourth down and 6 here. I mean, from this spot on the field, 46 or so yards, but Brian Wright, is he playing the time game here maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-possession game. With a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game.
Right.
And you have a chance to really ice this game. You know, Idaho State has 1 timeout left. You don't ice it, but it would go a long way if you get this. The risk reward on this, I think it's absolutely the right call here by Brian Wright.
Yeah, Northern Arizona calls the timeout. That will be, I think that's their second, is it not? Yes, because he called the timeout before the kick when he thought it was the onside kick was coming. So each team will have 1 timeout remaining here. Once again, coming up post-game, we'll go over some stats. We'll show you some highlights. If we get a chance, maybe we can update the out-of-town scoreboard. Everything is final except for our game and the Cal Poly Montana State game, which just kicked off a bit ago. No real surprises through the Big Sky this week. The teams you expect to win have won. You know, I found it interesting, though. The NCAA came out with their FCS rankings last week, the first official FCS rankings as far as, like, playoffs go, and they actually had Montana State ahead of Montana in that ranking, which, to be honest, I think that's probably the way the national polls should be as well. I still maintain Montana State is better than Montana. And I don't think it's close.
No, I don't. I don't right now, and we're going to see it, the Brawl of the Wild, but from the eye test, like I said, Montana State's going to be tough to beat for anyone.
Ball at the 29 of Idaho State. They got to get it to the 23. It's 4th and 6. Pennington fires, near side catch made, and that's going to be Jason Raines, number 8, wide open. Nigel Richards was over here on the corner. Trey Shorty was also in that vicinity, but that was a big play and probably the one that really kind of puts a capper on this one. Bengals down by 10 at 28-18. You know what this is going to come down to in the end, Cody, quite simply, is time of possession.
Yeah.
It's only about 6 minutes differential now, but there were 2 or 3 long drives, late second, early third, or middle third, that really tested Idaho State. Here is a running play, and this time Jaden Bell spins him down, gets some help from Rylan Leathers to finish off Seth Cromwell. Big loss there. I think that was Cam Willis up there to help out as well, wasn't it? Yeah. I see Cam there. So a loss of yardage back to the 24-yard line. Bengals are going to take their final time out here with 5 minutes, 45 seconds left. So a nice play by the Idaho State defense here. So the Bengals in the home stretch. No more bye weeks. And let's talk about our Idaho Immunization Coalition player of the game. And we're going to go with Ty Pennington. 23 of 28 for 159, a touchdown, and 9 carries for 49 yards. He he has really been something. And here's the touchdown throw that he got in there earlier to Kramer.
Yeah, 23 completions for 159 yards. I mean, just high completion throws, and really just making throws in a lot of 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations that he's converting those, moving the sticks all the way down the field, just drive after drive, or you see it just putting the ball in his hands and him running for it. Like you said, 9 carries for 49 yards. Like, none of these numbers absolutely jump off the page, but if you're watching this game on who's controlling the pace of this game, it's Ty Pennington.
Well, he came in 3rd in the conference in completions per game at just a little over 20. He's at 24 today. And Ty Pennington has been as advertised here today. They don't go for the big shot very often. This time Pennington's going to run. He'll be tripped up. Nigel Richards finished him off, but first contact coming from Janari Boone. So Nija helps trip up Pennington. It's 3rd down here and going to be 3rd and 16. 5 minutes, 15 seconds, clock ticks down. As Idaho State just no answer defensively today, and offensively just never really gotten a rhythm.
No.
At least to this point. Down by 10, it's still there, but they need a turnover in the worst way. They give it to Seth Cromwell, and Cromwell will battle. Bengals are trying to get him out of bounds, and finally, a little barking down there. Trying to see who that was. Oh, it was Nate Reynolds. Nate Reynolds and Seth Cromwell exchanging pleasantries or unpleasantries, if you will, most likely at the end of that play. So it's going to be 4th down. Look, it's a 3-score game, well, I guess it's just 2 scores. This would make it. But still, I mean, the Bengals, if they force this field goal, could score 2 touchdowns and still pull out the win. My math was off in my head for a second. So this is Sam Hunsaker from 41 yards to try to make this a 31-18 football game. That kick is up, and that kick is good. So the Lumberjacks find a way to add more points to the board here. And we'll see if I can get you a drive recap. 11 plays, 21 yards, 4 minutes, 41 seconds. And again, time of possession in this game. Right now, it's 11 minutes differential, 33-22 and change.
I mean, right there,
Right.
21 yards, 11 plays.
Yeah.
And taking off, not only did they take off over 4 minutes
Right.
of game time, they forced Idaho State to take all their timeouts.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, realistically, that's about a 6-minute drive, 6.5-minute drive. You include the timeouts, forcing Cody Hawkins to take.
So it will be a kickoff here for the Lumberjacks. Ian Duarte, he's returned a couple today. They've also kind of pooched a couple of kicks here this afternoon. As the approach, the swing of the leg, it is a squib kick. Jonah Burton's got it, and he just dives forward. I don't know if he fell or just, if he tripped up a little bit or just dove forward for what he could get. It's really been good to see Jonah Burton back in action. He missed 2 or 3 games with a nagging little injury. The other guy who we haven't seen really play a lot today but has been practicing the last week or so is Giovanni Gardier, the transfer out of UTEP. Right, UTEP? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Baylor for Jonah Burton. So here we go, Bengals back with the football. They trail it now by 13 at 31-18. Jordan Cook back to throw, steps up, looks, far side, over the head again of Michael Shulikov. Pretty good coverage down there by the cornerback, Quentin Moten, out of one of my favorite cities to pronounce, Rancho Cucamonga, California. They have a minor league baseball team down there called the Quakes. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 here. for Idaho State from their own 30-yard line. Quick hitter, near side, pass caught. That's Dame Morgan. That'll pick up 6, stop the clock, make it 3rd down and 4. 3:57 to go in the game. Bengals need 2 touchdowns, and in between not allow anything to the Lumberjacks.
Maybe here's where you take your shot on a double move, try to get a one-on-one coverage. Maybe a corner bites on Shulikov running a sluggo.
You know, I watched Idaho State this week run a few hook and ladders. And this time he was looking for Dame Morgan again and fired it a little too hard, and it's incomplete. So it's going to be 4th down and 4. Jordan Cook not having one of his best days throwing the football. 21 of 31. That is still 68%, but not the usual. I don't know, he's just not as sharp. Here's a pass. Nunnally's got the catch. That'll be enough for the 1st down. Accurate. The word I was looking for, not as accurate as we've seen him in the past.
And really not connected on big plays down the field
right,
like we're used to seeing.
Yep, another Mountain America Credit Union 1st down for Idaho State. Now he's going deep, looking for Zion Nunnally, and that's overthrown. Coverage on the play downfield by Michael Hurst for Northern Arizona. Incompletion will freeze the clock at 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line of Idaho State for this 2nd down and 10 snap. Bengals' next home game 2 weeks from today against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Here's Jordan Cook. Hit from behind, and for the first time in a while, the Bengals have allowed a sack. Well, I think they did give up one at Montana State, but that's only the 3rd sack of the year allowed, and that's going to take a loss of 4 back to the 39-yard line. Is that 43 that got that?
Yeah,
that's Ramir Davis. So it's going to be 3rd down here, and let's call it about 14 yards to go. Again, Cook out of the pocket. Passes over the middle. He's got Mike Shulikov. Shulikov is going to have a 1st down to the 37-yard line of Northern Arizona. So that's going to be a nice pickup of about, 20, 30 yards? Just trying to do the quick math. Ball at the 37-yard line. $25 yards on that completion. Sets him up at the Lumberjack 37. Now Cook's going to run. Cook is going to get to the sideline. Pushed out of bounds by the middle linebacker, Brandon Wong, out of Rockland, California. He's a senior. It's a pretty experienced Northern Arizona defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some younger guys in there, but most of the guys we've called today are seniors or juniors. So we've got the 2-minute timeout, 31-18. Northern Arizona leads Idaho State. We're back after this timeout on KISU FM and ESPN+. Bengals with a 2nd down and 10 here from the Northern Arizona 36-yard line. 2 minutes left in the game. ISU down 31-18 to the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona. Got to make something happen in a hurry. Twice. Here is Cook back to throw on 2nd and 10. Fires, finds his man. That's Zion Nunnally with another great snag. That's going to be good for 8 yards. Zion Nunnally. That's going to be his 8th catch. He's going to be pushing 71 yards on the day. Dason Brooks, the story, though. 11 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown for their ISU today. Here's a quick pass to the far side. That might be a late hit. Looked like it might have been a little late by Quentin Moten. Damian Morgan had the catch over there, and he's going to have a Mountain America Credit Union 1st down at the 22-yard line. Let's take a look at this replay. Well, maybe not. I guess the play was continuing on. At first blush, it looked like a touch late. But it's 1st down for Idaho State, and they'll take it at the NAU 22-yard line. Again, over the middle. This time it's going to be Juice Mason. And Juice with his first catch of the day. Julian Mason, a redshirt junior out of Tacoma, Washington. That's his 11th catch of the year. Had that dynamic touchdown catch against Montana. Going to the end zone again for Shulikov. No, it's incomplete. Could not quite haul it in. There's a lot of hand fighting going on down there, I can tell you that. That's no place for the weak of heart.
It's intercepted.
Oh, it was intercepted?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even see the indication. Let's take a look at it. It was in that far corner, and with the dark turf, yeah, sure enough, I thought maybe it went out of bounds. The official was a little slow, but now I see it. And that's going to be intercepted by Quentin Moten. So that will take us down to the final 105. 2 or 3 snaps, and the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona going to break their 2-game losing streak. As they will move to 5-3, even their record in the Big Sky Conference at 2-2. First interception of the day for Jordan Cook. And I apologize. Like I said, that was so far back in that end zone, that kind of dark corner there, that it's kind of hard to see. But now victory formation for the Lumberjacks. Let's take a look at that interception one more time by Quentin Moten. I mean, put the air under it, and he just got the position, and Shulikov looked like he might have slipped a little bit. So that's going to do it. The Lumberjacks take the final snap that they have to take, and the Idaho State Bengals are going to lose their homecoming game. They'll now even their record at 4-4 against Northern Arizona when they play the Lumberjacks on a homecoming game. Northern Arizona now 5-3 overall, 2-2 in the Big Sky Conference. Bengals drop to 2-6 and 1-3 in conference play. And Cody Graves, just a day where Northern Arizona was a little bit better, and Ty Pennington just really took control of this football game almost from the beginning.
Yeah, like we said, controlling the tempo, just looked like an experienced team against which shouldn't be an inexperienced team in Idaho State, but just unable to really get anything going offensively for most of the game for Idaho State, when that's usually their bread and butter, and just not keeping their defense off the field in situations where they had long drives, and Idaho State's offense going out there and getting 3 and outs, putting the defense in bad positions, but then the defense not able to get off on
right.
third down situations. I mean, and that's a recurring theme for this defense as well. It's the lack of tackling. Open field tackling's been an issue, and it's the third and fourth downs right now for Idaho State, just not able to get off the field and get the ball back into the offense's hands.
As the teams exit the field, let's take a look at stats from this one today. And when you talk about Ty Pennington and this passing game, I mean, they put up some pretty nice numbers as we take a look at the final numbers from this Big Sky matchup today. Total numbers, 371 total yards for Northern Arizona. How about this? Bengals outgain Northern Arizona 393 to 371. First downs even at 23 apiece, but it was when those yards came and those long, just wear you down type of drives that Northern Arizona had. A couple in the second quarter and 2 or 3 in that second half as well.
Yeah, it's a classic that the numbers don't tell the story to this game, because in all reality, Northern Arizona controlled this game from the time they got their first lead when they went up 14-10, that they were in control of the game from that point on to the very end.
Nearly a 10-minute differential in time of possession, 34-36 to 25-23. And so that in and of itself tells you a whole lot about this game. The one bright spot for Idaho State, Dason Brooks, 11 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Jordan Cook today, 26 of 39 for 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Let's take a look at some replays from the game this afternoon. And this is that hit on Ian Duarte on the punt that no flag came out on, and Cody Hawkins just absolutely incensed on that. Surprise no call. And then here is Ty Pennington doing what Ty Pennington does. And again, that's going to be Curran Gossett with the touchdown for the Lumberjacks. Dason Brooks. He looked more like himself today than we've seen probably since week 1. Fair to say?
Yeah, and if he stayed healthy this game, I mean, it's one that's a silver lining for Idaho State the rest of the season that they got Dason Brooks.
And there's that great touchdown pass to Mike Shulikoff, and then they went for 2 and got it with Jonah Burton. And that's taking a look back at that touchdown pass. That was the 5th receiving touchdown for Mike Shulikoff this year. So let's take a look at some of the scores from around the Big Sky Conference today. Everything is final now with the exception of that Montana State-Cal Poly game. Friday night, Montana with the win over Sac State. Eastern Washington, a win down at Weber. A surprise or no?
You know, no. Those two teams, I can't get a really good feel for
Right.
is Eastern and Weber, and just the assumption that those two teams,